Analine Bella Galo Nebo, Analine Bella Galo Nebo, Anaelo, Malono, Nasamio, Malono, Nasamio, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio, Monge by Casamio. Wangan ya winganwa, wangan ya winganwa. Wala kuna mbega elo newa, wala na mbega elo newa. Alo mbega yele kamoba, alo mbega yele miniba. Abalo nebo abale yenga, abalo nebo abale yenga, abalo nebo abale yenga. Yole nyela yolo buena, yole nyela yolo buena, yole nyela yolo buena. Malo nebo abale yenga, malo nebo abale yenga. Nebo nyela ye, nebo nyela ye.
Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. Let's see here. I believe our guests already start arriving. I'm Afonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you to this evening broadcast. This is your informative news magazine, All Things Considered, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. That's LPR. Tonight is Wednesday edition. We want to shift the gear. My guests, they are all here. Just bear with me. And let me just get this out here for some reason here. The same one or in the system here. Just bear with us, just wrong in names here, but we're going to do it. But let's get the program rolling out here. This is LPR. Welcome to the show. That introduces the program. I'm Afonso Z, and so we are about to get this ball rolling right here this evening. So we're going to take a shift at a new conversation here. We're going to scope it down, narrow it down to what appears to be the big political gatherings in Atlanta, Georgia, in the next couple of days here. And so we reached out, and they were very gracious to answer our call. I'm going to be bringing them in. They are here, and you are aware the Alternative National Congress Diaspora Group will be having what they call conventions. The name convention and politician meets the implications, the definitions is so much varied, but we will hear from that directly. What is it all about? It's the Grand March that is starting now for 2020 now. Cleaning house reintroductions. We saw a video to recently surfaced from Alexander Benedict Cummings. He was down at Nikrutan. So what's going on? Well, the folks here, and we will have that discussion. This is the program, All Things Considered. Get a ball rolling. Time is fast spent. Let me bring in my guests here. Let me bring in the guys that we're going to be having this conversation. This is their belief. First time appearing on LPR. Let me bring in the other gentlemen. They will introduce themselves. Let me get this lay over across here because We are about to talk some real-time conversation here. I'm not sure. I think something much bigger that we need to know. Perhaps it will on surface. Gentlemen, good evening. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on LPR, that is the Liberia Public Radio. I would say it's the audience in this business. But what we believe in quality, then quantity. And so the name itself represents the true image of Liberia. But notwithstanding, there are some here who also have their political pick. But as a chief and lead angle here, we try to do it fairly and proportionally by allowing people to speak their mind and the truth. And you are at liberty to plead the fifth if you decide not to answer the question for us. We are more or less obligated to our audience, to our viewers. But we know you politicians are very calculated, very strategic in answering questions. So it won't be a surprise to me. But welcome. This is the House of LPR. Good to have you guys here.
Yeah, thank you, Alfonso. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yeah, loud, Leon. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah, I want to say a pleasant good evening to you, Alfonso, and your listening audience, including the greater Liberian public. Glad to be on your show along with my able committee member, Yah Bowman. We're just excited to share some updates, with regards to the ANC convention coming up in October 24th to the 26th weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. We're looking forward to kind of elaborate a little bit more what it's going to be all about, what agency's been up to, what agency's doing, and how we're really mobilized to really lead the efforts of where we think Liberia wants to go over the next few years. So looking forward to a fruitful discussion, and we thank you for the opportunity.
Let's go to Mr. Bowman. So I'll let maybe he has a word to I, and we will get right down to the wire.
No, let me just say, can you hear me clear?
Loud and clear.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Well, let me just first start by saying thank you, Mr. So. Thank you for inviting us. It's a privilege to be here on this platform. And again, as my able chairman said, we are here to discuss the upcoming convention of the ANC. I know a lot of folks are wondering what's going on with the ANC, and hopefully we can shed light on some of that today and at least excite our base and let people know that the ANC is vibrant, the ANC is ready, and 2029 will be no different. We are here to stay, and we are here for the win. So we look forward to a fruitful discussion, as he stated earlier.
Folks, it is not me. You hear it directly from the house's mouth. They are here to excite their base, and I do believe this is a political rally, and we all know what political rally is. The guy was down nickel time, giving whatever meal. When politicians began to do that, and then it coincides with a convention, that's something might be. Trust me, we're going to get down to it. But you guys are all politically minded, so let's do a little bit quick housekeeping here before we get to the central of our tonight conversation. What's going on in Liberia from the view of the ANC diaspora? I guess you are monitoring development, things happening in Liberia. How is the diaspora ANC processing that? And perhaps that could be translated to the convention to make more argument. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'll let you go ahead. Yeah, is our chair on communications, so I'll let him speak on it.
So there, the ANC is, let me take a shot at that. The ANC is focused right now. There are a lot going on in Liberia, as you stated. The ANC is completely focused. Let me premise this whole conversation by saying a lot of folks on this line or that are watching in the audience, and including you, Mr. Saul, our performance in the last election is something of concern. Obviously, no political party will want to end up
coming from me, Mr. Bowman. Let me say
Well, I'm the one saying it. I'm the one saying it. So yeah. So with that, it gives us extra. It gives us extra energy. It gives us extra boost to feel the need to do something more to excite our base. There were a lot of things that constrained the party in terms of our alignment with other political parties. One may ask, how did that, help or hurt you? I think it was more of a hurt than it was a help, our aligning with other political parties, because if those that monitor the last CPP election, people understood that there were a lot of rigmarole, there were a lot of controversy, there were a lot of infighting, and some of which led our political leader for 6 months instead of campaigning in other places to gain traction. He was caught up in this web of whole, lies about him fingering documents for which he went to court. So that took a lot away from us as well. And it did not allow us to go to places that we needed to go to help our party. But now that that was over with, this time we are coming with a whole new idea, and that new idea begins with what's happening on the ground in Liberia, and also what's going to happen in the diaspora. On the ground, in the next few days or weeks, in the next few weeks, you will notice that the ANC is going to their convention. Is going to a convention in Kakata in the next few weeks, and then they will elect new group of leaders, individuals that we have pretty much vetted, and and we hope that some of those that have put their names up for election will carry on the task of rebranding this organization, because we are in a rebranding stage in the diaspora as well as in Liberia. And the same thing is to happen also in the diaspora here on October the 25th, between the 24th and the 26th, when we too will have our convention in Atlanta, Georgia. And there too, we also plan on doing the same rebranding and see how we can mobilize our troops to get ready for 2029. And we look forward to seeing you there, Alfonso. Hopefully you can be part of us and, bring your dancing shoes. That's all I can say.
2029. Politicians, they are not good friends of mine, because I sound like they would be a good friend. All of these guys that were here now, their phone tend to telemarketer now. They don't pick up people's phone call again. So when I have the opportunity to do that, but let me bring in Mensah here. I believe you want to add a little layer to what your colleague just said.
Yeah. So, So I mean, essentially, like Yab Bowman mentioned, the ANC Diaspora, which is an organization based in the USA, obviously is working collaboratively with the ANC in Liberia. I mean, we, of course, are focused more, different angle, right? We're focused more on strategic direction, fundraising, mobilization, engaging Liberians in the diaspora to effect change back home in Liberia. But of course, that we work hand in hand. So essentially, the way we're standing up the new ANC Diaspora is to pair up all of our activities, with local counterparts on the ground in Liberia that can execute things at county level, at regional level, at district level, really blocking and tackling, figuring out what Liberians need on a local level. And that was one of the lessons learned, over the last several years, because many times when we travel outside Liberia, we went to the hinterlands, Bunkinima, all these counties, and you ask the people, well, where is the ANC project? Some people say, well, we haven't seen an ANC project in a few years, So the lessons we learned was, we need to listen to the people locally, figure out what they want, and then try to deliver on those things, because they may have an idea that we're capable and all that, but they want to see some tangibles, in that can impact their lives day to day, so they can visualize, how exactly are they going to be bringing change to Liberia? So one of the things we're doing going forward is really kind of working hand in hand, and you see that a lot, listening to people, taking some of their pain points, taking some of what should change, and then basically try to deploy that. But with that being said, we are here for the convention, though, and that is, like Yab mentioned, it's going to be occurring October 24th to 26th. It's a very important weekend. Now, I would just digress a little bit to kind of show you how we got here. So after 2023, there was a period of reflection and really taking the time to figure out, what didn't go so right, and how can we essentially make that better. So there was a lot of post-mortem basically done. And essentially one of the things that, that came out of that from Liberians in the diaspora was that we need to be a little more welcoming. We need to be a little more open to people's ideas, make them feel appreciated for the level of hard work. We're all just ordinary people. I think there was some sense of ANC people might be sort of elitist people. But it's not true. I'm from Banave Keba. There's nothing elitist about Banave Keba, So we're all just regular, Liberians trying to essentially make a difference. So One of the things we're really doing about this convention, we're kind of opening up the platform. Anybody that wants to run for office in the organization can run. You just pay your fee. You essentially bring your team. Follow the rules. We'll post all the rules on our convention website, so people can actually vote. Want to kind of open this up, right, and make people feel welcome. There's going to be a lot of there's going to be a meet and greet, with the PL, Mr. Cummings on Friday. On Saturday, there's a business meeting in the morning where there will be elections held, and people that want to run for office, chairman, vice chairman, other offices, they can do that. In the evening, there'll be a nice dinner with dancing, like Mano, like y'all mentioned, bring your dancing shoes so that you can dance and have a great time. One would be too stiff. Yeah, we want to talk about policies, reactivating the organization. Yes, we know that the ANC diaspora is now made up of a lot of the auxiliary from the various, groups that were in the USA now coming together under one umbrella. So ANC diaspora, CPP, ANC USA, all coming together under one umbrella to get functioning unison, okay, to really drive this change. Yes, we know all that, but also make it fun, interactive, engaging, open. So those are some of the things we can expect moving forward. Fruitful convention, working in unison with our sister organization Liberia, opening up the platform, making people welcome, so that we could have a run at it for the next several years. Now, in closing for right now, I would say that Liberia over the last 50 years, has really been in a state of destitute. Alphonse, if you really look at Liberia's history, I mean, we've really haven't made any progress, right? We've tried to seem leaders over and over again. And, if you look at infrastructure, we're behind. We look at, electricity, water, sewage system. I almost feel like nothing works, So I would submit to your audience, though, that one of the primary reasons for that is we've not really had leaders that can transform the resources that we've had naturally, turn it into basically liquidity, cash, to then take those resources and develop and build Liberia, know how to manage those resources. Because one thing to turn the resources into money is another thing to know how to manage it so that it yields the outcome. So really haven't had leaders that done that. And what we're submitting today to your audience, the Liberian people, is that, if you really, I recall going to St. Patrick's in the early 90s, and we used to go and take bus from, let's say, Barnesville all the way to St. Patrick. That journey was probably like 3 hours or so between staying off a bus. And when you go back, it's basically the same thing. Nothing's changed. People still taking the same 3 hours. There's no mass transit system. There's no train. There's no, so we really have a broken society and a broken country. And we're here to submit that we need leaders that understand how to raise money, because we've had presidents, we've got literally resources that are worth trillions of dollars. And we go and beg for scraps. They'll give us 30 million here, 100 million. It sounds like a lot of money, but that's just a couple of months of salaries. That doesn't really do anything by way of infrastructure and building out. So we're really submitting that we need leaders that understand financial systems, how to manage resources, how to turn those resources into liquidity to develop the country. And when we look at the experience level of the PL, that's exactly what he has. And we think that we should bring all that to Liberian people again. And we think like this time they'll make the right decision.
Okay, this is the traditions of this network. We allow people to speak because we want to hold you accountable to your words. So we do not, very suddenly we interrupt when there's a need to get our audience to be in line. Well, what a great conversation potentially that is ahead of us. ANC is not a strange party for me. I had the privilege to speak to a lot of folks way back then, 7-8 years. Then the Kwame Clement, Warman Red, they passed away, and even your political leaders. I was privileged to host in here like 4 years ago. From what I'm hearing, this seems to be some sort of political surgical operations, restructuring, rebranding. The rebranding, those are your words. it seems to me that it's going to be that of your leader. We don't know yet whether it's going to be a standard bearer, how it's going to play out here. But it seems to me certain things didn't go right. This time, AMC has taken a deep breath and say, hey, we need to do it this time around. A lot of you guys learn a hard lesson, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, and again, and I think that's one of the reasons why, if you see the slow pace of the AMC right now, I think a lot of people expect the ANC to jump and run like how maybe other political parties doing right now, going from place to place. But we have to be strategic. Again, like I said, it's often said that once bitten by a snake, even the sight of the lizard will scare you, right? So, we taking our time, like you said, moving surgically. I like that word. We are not rushing into this thinking that we want to go and grab everything at once. We will make the right decision. The political leader is taking his time. He will make the right decision, and you will see a lot of movement after the convention on both sides, because he will be in the United States for our convention and he will be in Liberia for the convention. Once those conventions are over with and people are put in places and positions where we believe they are strategic, you will see a lot of movement. Obviously, he's already started. I think last week you saw that he visited a few drug rehab centers. And his appearance there, I think it says a lot. And he intends to do a lot of those engagement with folks. But you will see a more robust engagement once this convention is over. And because right now we are, there are a lot of things that we have to put in place for this convention. But part of what we're doing here as ANC Diaspora is we want to make sure that our folks are not, left like nothing is happening. After the election, we saw that there were a lot of, obviously, like I said earlier, no one wants to be in the 1% column.
Not to interrupt, this seems to be more or less an unleashed package here with ANC on LPR here, and we are excited to have you. Let me bring in to one of your brand, Mr. George Emmanuel GK George, been sitting pounding and doing everything here. I'm humbled to have you as well, Mr. George. Welcome up here. You want to unmute yourself, please?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be on your show this evening. Good evening to Leon. Good evening to Yang. It's good to be here. I look forward to having a wonderful conversation with you.
Let's go for it, guys. Okay, come on, go ahead.
No, and again, just as I was in flight, I was saying, because of that, we have to make sure that our partisans in the diaspora, they are aware of what's going on. And also, we got to keep them excited. This is one of the reasons why we decided that this particular convention, even though it's within what we're trying to do in Liberia, is within the collaboration of what we're trying to do in Liberia, but we felt that it was necessary for this convention to happen. New leadership, new attitude, new way of doing things. And again, it goes with the mantra of our political leader. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. So this is why in Atlanta now, we are going over there to make sure we're bringing this new code of leaders, new direction, new attitude, and new personnel in certain places. And once we can get all of these things together, trust me, the party is going to be on the move. And when we say we're on the move, ANC, we don't shy from a lot of things. We will take the stage and we will regain our place in the political landscape of Liberia. We look forward to that. Liberia is in need of a leader. Liberia is in need of a leader, not only anyone to just be a president, but someone who can actually deliver. And I think if you look at a lot of the folks in Liberia, there's no one that could argue that Mr. Alexander Cumming is not one of Liberia's best. If you talk to a lot of Liberians, they will say, oh, the man is good, the man is good. And my question to a lot of folks is, if the man is good, why don't you join to recruit him? Why don't you join us to usher him into power? Because when something is good, that's what you want. When someone is capable, that's the person you want. So we're only appealing to a lot of folks. This convention is going to be open. A lot of folks who are not part of the ANC, you are free to be there. You are welcome. We are not only limiting this convention to folks that are in the ANC. If you are not part of the ANC, you are looking for a place to come, Atlanta is where you can come to join and have fun with us on October the 24th through the 26th.
Let me quickly incite Mr. George into this conversation because I believe he's all out for it, being listening to him here and there, being very forceful. That's what politicians, they're surrogate. That's how you need to have a forceful surrogate and then potentially your message. But Mr. George, for the benefit of our audience, let's just give you the opportunity for a few minutes or seconds intro, and we'll just jump right into it. Your mark.
Sorry. My name is Emmanuel Gemokla George. I'm from the beautiful country of Liberia. I'm a teacher by profession, being in and out of the classroom. Right now, I'm consulting while in and out of the classroom. And I'm a strong supporter, an unwavering supporter of the Alternative National Congress and its political leader, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings.
Okay. So tonight, folks, is ANC night, and it can be anybody night. As long as you honor our invitations, I think everybody should be given the opportunity. And we have argued that point here on this network. The process in Liberia lastly was polarized. Media took it and ran with it, and we didn't ask questions. People never asked questions. All people were silent in the interim. That is dangerous to democracy. I think every side, all sides must be heard. But let's come to you. Let me just get you into this fries here quick. My understanding, Mr. George, you guys going to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, yes, man. I hope you will be there. I hope you have your ticket. We're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia from the 24th to the 26th. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk politics, but we're going to have fun while talking politics and preparing for the new dawn in Liberia. You see, Mr. So, I'm 53 years old. I'll be 54 years old in December. When I was born in 1971, I grew up in a country where I don't know if you know this time because I find I'm older than many people, but we have something in Monrovia called a PUA. If you can find a PUA sticker in Monrovia, you know Liberia good. We used to wake up in the morning and it would sweep the street of Liberia. It was clean. It was neat. That's the time we grew up in. And then we had a coup in 1980. And then for 1985, we had a coup coup. And it seems we went crazy as a country after 1985. We started killing each other as if to say we were not brothers or sisters. And many of the younger generation have not seen that there was a time in Liberia that city was clean. Monrovia was very clean. And then we have 20 years ago, we decided to go in the new democratic dispensation that we have. And the Liberian people have been committed and been looking forward to this dispensation, giving them the best. Unfortunately, since 2005, we have gone behind Sierra Leone, we have gone behind La Journée, we have gone behind Burkina Faso. And these countries were countries we're ahead of. And that's why I'm excited for going to excited and looking forward to being in Atlanta, excited and looking forward for us to tell the Liberian people, you know, the French people, during the time of the Cold War, the French people introduced the word la voie troisième. There's a third alternative. You don't have to look to Russia. You don't have to look to the United States of America for what you want. And that's what we've come to start talking about. We are talking about there is a third alternative for you. And that person, in my opinion, is Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. And this is the time for us to make serious decision. We have granted the UP for 12 years. Another 6 years, we see nothing happening. We granted our amazing brothers, good friends we have in the CDC. I have a lot of good friends in the CDC, but we did give them 6 years, and they struggle with it. So perhaps it's time for us to work along with our friends in the opposition for us to bring Mr. Alexander Cummings to the table.
Right. This is how the politicians behave, right? They are very calculated, very strategic, very inventive in getting words. And what I'm kind of saying that Liberia is being used as an experimental ground. Okay, let's hear the one when they want that, well, let's take the one. That sort of susuta. Atlanta, Georgia, you've been there before. You guys went there before, and we saw what went wrong. You're going back to Atlanta there. So someone who curious out there, wait a minute. Atlanta seems to be your house, seems to be your home base. What didn't happen this time around? You are going there. That's going to be a new event to see it differently. Let me bring in Leon in this one here. Leon, you guys were in Atlanta before. We saw those beautiful dancing and all of that. And at the end of the day, the train derailed. And here you guys taking the same train to Atlanta. Why not somewhere? Or are we just trying to shift things around here?
Yeah, I mean, ANC is doing a lot of things differently. One of the things we are doing is consolidating, right? So before, while you did see there was a convention that was under the auspices of the ANC Global. However, there were also other auxiliary groups in the USA. And one of the lessons learned was that we needed to really function more as a cohesive unit. So at this convention, we're consolidating the various, auxiliary groups into one, right? Another thing that we're doing differently is that we're opening up the leadership platform because, if you run an organization and you have some, results you didn't quite like, right? One of the most logical thing to do is to try to bring in some new ideas, right? So, and opening up the leadership, opening up the, hierarchy structure so that people with different ideas that have other solutions can be included in the decision making to change the trajectory of the the organization moving forward. So that's another thing we're doing differently. We're changing leadership, we open up the platform, etc. We're also more, I would say, we're more welcoming. Because one of the complaints we heard was, well, I would bring my idea and people wouldn't accept the idea. So we're decentralizing. Another thing we're doing different, Alfonso, we're decentralizing decision making and organizational structure. So say, for example, before most of the decision making was going through the PO's office, right? So with the new structure, what we're doing is we're saying, okay, who's going to have a better idea what's going on in NIMBA, right? Is the person in charge of NIMBA. Who's going to have a better idea what's going on in LOFA? Is the person in charge of LOFA. So we're going to have county representative in charge of the various counties and obviously districts, etc. They know what's going on in those local jurisdictions, so they can better say, okay, we need cassava mill here, we need hemp pump here, or maybe here we need more education. And we're going to pair those people up with budget officers or finance people to help fund these activities, these projects to localize. So if you want to do something, you don't necessarily have to go through Mr. Cummings' office. Hey, I want to call Mr. Cummings to get approval to do X, Y, Z. Now you could go directly to those making decisions in the various jurisdictions and quickly act on things that are pertinent to those people. So we're making a lot of changes as I described. And I think there's also going to be more leadership and more changes. When the new leadership come into play, they'll also bring in some new ideas, right? Things will be different. Even things like restriction on running for office. Before we had some restriction where it was X number of years you had to wait. Now that's removed. So if you come in, you can convince the partisans or the organization members and rally them to vote for you and feel free, right? So we're making things friendly, welcoming, open, changing leadership structure, decentralizing decision making. So we're making all these organizational changes to get ready for the ground level work that needs to get done over the next several years.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. George, if you will, because it's a rally when politicians meet. This is why, and this is something that I kind of like that was forecast during my conversation with Mr. Cummings, and I did ask him that question: Friends of Chroming, Global, this, that. I said, I don't know how this is going to really work because bottom line, they represent your interests. And there's no way that you can distance yourself if you do it. So how is that going to be? But from what I'm hearing now, it seems this sort of consolidation to have like a want, maybe perhaps to represent the interest. These are beautiful conversations. But Mr. George, put it into context. Having this sort of beautiful conversation, will it be perfected into reality in terms of meeting those goals, those objectives? Or do we come here and use these cosmetic political words, and then at the end of the day, something else is done? And that what seems to be happening with all the politicians, political parties, their ideologies is unknown, and real political party is driven on ideology. But some people, you ask them, they either beyond it, man, because my friend George is there, Leon is there, so I'm going there. You don't even know why Leon is there for. Now, what this whole convention here, take me inside this convention here ahead of it. What going to really come out of this convention for someone to say, oh, wait a minute, this is not an ANC that I knew 2 year or a year ago. Now this seems to be like a political party.
Yeah, Alfonso, you are right, right? You are definitely right. Politics is about interest, and every one of us have interests. So I definitely read Machiavelli and definitely agree with him. There is nobody that come to politics that doesn't come with an interest. Anybody tell you that, it'd be lying to you. Tell them, say, I say you lie. So it's about interest. But then it's all, and in this interest, we get attached to groups that we are part of, communities that we are part of, societies that we are part of. We get attached. But there is one constant in life, and that's what we are teaching with this convention. There's one constant in life, and that is change. Change is the only thing under the sun that is constant. It's difficult, but it's the only thing that is constant. So we must change. Every one of us have to change. So when we came back from Monrovia after our loss, when we came back from Monrovia, the party was in disarray, was challenging, and then the political leaders gave us this goal that we should come together as one diaspora organization in the United States of America, also allowing Europe, who needs to be a part of Global, which in April at the Global Convention, we voted allowing Europe to be on their own now. So after on their own. So Mr. Mensah, Leon Mensah came from ANC USA. Mr. Jan Boma is from CBP USA and ANC Midwest, and I'm from ANC Global. The three of us were charged by the political leader to make sure this thing happened. And it's happening. People are excited. The excitement has been generated. The three of us who are leading the various groups, we are being front and center to show that we are united into this. And it is our prayer and our hope that we get out of this. But we are not going to deceive ourselves or lie to ourselves that everybody will come on board. No, there will be people who will still be fanatically cling to ANC USA. There will be people who will be fanatically cling to CBP USA or Midwest, and there will be people who will be fanatically cling to Global. But the fact of the matter is that when we start to show success in unity, even those who are fanatical cling to group will come and join this bandwagon, because everyone wants to be a child of success. And that's the thing we are working on. So we are not the only one having convention. Next week, I will be in Monrovia to be part of the national convention. And then Europe is also going to convention the following week. Then we come for global convention, and perhaps we go back to Europe in December to celebrate with a new group in Europe, because all they're going to be having is the election of their own officer. So that shows that the ANC is on fire, and hopefully everybody will get a piece of this fire and come down to Atlanta, Georgia. So what is happening in Atlanta, Georgia? I see people getting 10-bedroom Airbnb with swimming pool. I see people booking the hotels. I'm seeing people getting the plane ticket. People are calling me. Yesterday, I had about 10 calls to register that they want to register and pay the money. So if you are out there listening to my voice, whether you are on Facebook, YouTube, or whatsoever station you're listening to, Atlanta is the place to be. October 24th to October 26th. Don't miss it. Come up there and make sure you give us a call, right? You have the flyers out there. Mr. Bowman's phone number is on it. He's such a wonderful, gracious man. He will receive your phone call 24 hours. And just don't get his wife to get annoyed with him, but make sure you call. Make sure you go to the link has been put in the chat room, ancdiasporainfo.com. Try to get there this evening. Register. We want to see you out there in Atlanta. Come out. It's the ANC time. We have packages, Mr. Alfonso. We have we have the $150 package that comes with a T-shirt. So those of you who don't have an ANC T-shirt, there's a T-shirt, there's a cap, and our brother Michael Padmore, many of you know him, such a wonderful man, is making those T-shirts ready, and our sister Fatu is sending you email. So if you get email from Fatu, it's an official email coming from the ANC One Diaspora organization.
Mr. Bowman, let's get into this whole thing here. This seems to be a very interesting thing here. And it looks like, but it's too soon. I'm not going to come with a definitive answer to say, well, changes is taking place until I see the real actions is being performed here. But one of the things here that I saw the last time around, and not just with only ANC, the leaders, they didn't take control of the institution. It is their brain. If you talk about Unity Party, the brand, the owner of that brand is Joseph Boyka. You talk about CDC, the owner of that brand is George Weah. You talk about ANC, the owner of that brand is Alexander Benedict Cummings. I saw the last time around some of those who profess to be surrogate for these people, instead of bringing people closer, they were driving voters away because they were intolerant. They were unable to prosecute the message of the candidate they represent. And that's huge, but very few institutions realize that. Those who were coming yesterday in the front line, where are they today? They, and not just only him, simply because politicians just want to hang on to the red meat. Anything that, if it's a green meat, nobody want to eat a green meat. Why are you still with Cummings?
Wow, that's a loaded question, but very, very interesting one. Look, before I answer that question, let me just ask something too. And Josh, thank you. I think it was well articulated. You asked the question to Leon about why Atlanta. You know, the ANC has been going everywhere. You know, like we said, the different splinter group or the different auxiliary groups or different faction have been operating in silos, right? So, for example, you know, Global has been having their convention. The Midwest has been having convention. We had convention in or a gathering, you can call it that, in Chicago, and we also have some. Global has something in Atlanta, and then they have some in Maryland, I believe, and then also in
North
California.
Carolina.
So there's been convention in North Carolina. I think that was the place that we were in, North Carolina. And it was there in North Carolina that Mr. Cummings actually stressed that, hey, we cannot all be different. Because the funny thing was, you know, even though we were different groups, but when one side is having the convention, you also see other people from the other side sneaking in. So Global will have their convention. You will see the Midwest running to Global convention because they want to be a part of it. The ANC USA will be having their convention. You will see Global folks running there, and vice versa. So it was necessary to say, why do these things? Why can't we all just come together as ones and and have a single group? And I think that's where the whole idea of this diaspora group coming from. And we hope to perfect it. Nothing is perfect, but I think with the commitment of the ANC diaspora members, and also ANC Global, ANC Midwest, and ANC USA, all of them coming together, and the other groups too that are part of following Mr. Cummings, the fact that they are all coming together, it shows commitment, and we intend to be committed to one another and to the cause until we achieve the goal that we want to achieve, which is to build a stronger, more robust, and vibrant diaspora organization that will support the ANC. Now, coming to your question, it's not easy to support a person for a man to say, this is who I want. When you look at a leader who has been consistent in what he says, a leader who has been a man of his word, a leader who, if you look among those that want to govern our country, if you look at their character and you look at what he's done, and then you compare to those who are running, those who want to take state power, I think it's an easy call. Because even those that are in the CDC, if you ask them, they will all tell you, Mr. Cummings is a good man. I think he's this. I think he's really good. And then they will always say, well, the people around him, right? That's what you hear. Mr. Cummings is a good man. He's this. He's well knowledgeable. I think this man can fix this country. But the people around him. And you ask the people in the Unity Party, they themselves will tell you the same thing. No one will ever have a bad word from Mr. Cummings to say, Mr. Cummings is not a good leader. You will never hear that from a lot of these folks, other than maybe coming out with some fake lies about him. But other than that, everyone will want to say Mr. Cummings is a good man. Now, if you look at all of those statements, that Mr. Cummings is a good man, he's the one that can change Liberia, he's the one that can do this, and you see his action, the way he conducts himself, I think it makes it easier for those of us that have lived in other countries, and we see good governance. We see how leaders are accountable to their people. We see how leaders, when they say something, they mean it. You know, I was in a meeting once with Mr. Cummings, and there were people that were asking him to say things that, you know, we excite people out there. He said, I can't lie to people. I don't want to lie to people. Because, you know, lying is very hard to defend. You say one thing and you do another thing. Mr. Cummings will not lie to you. He will tell you what the truth is. He will tell you how it's supposed to be. If he can do it, he will tell you he can do it. Even this outing that he's doing with all these drugs people going out to these different drugs camps, people expect him to do all of these, you know, maybe go to this other place, go to this other, but he told folks, he said, I can only do what I can, and I will do the best I can for Liberia. I think it's drive like that, it's statement like that, it's things like that that make some of us who try to look at the betterment of Liberia, the future of Liberia, we can look at a man like that and say, this is where I want to be, this is who I want to follow. You know, of all else, I can say, I want to model my life after him, I want to be like him, and I will follow him. I think that's what drives me to be with Mr. Cummings as of now.
Okay, Mr. We're going to be talking about this convention here, and we'll get to it. But the bottom line of this convention, if I could make a perfect guess, is about Alexander Benedict Cummings restructuring, reintroducing. Is he politically? Is he a tough guy? Because the politics in Liberia now is very dicey. Radio hosts and everybody becomes combative as a result. We're not getting the substance of the conversation that we should get and hold our politicians really, really accountable. I don't know whether he's considering contesting again, but most likely that seems to be the shift that we're seeing. Why is happening now? Going down Nikuta, he's not going down Nikuta there for no reason to go devise stuff and all of that. But yeah, I'm just saying it. I could be wrong, but is that what he's considering?
Emmanuel, I'll let you take that one.
You're muted, Emmanuel.
Why you afraid? I call you and then you now plead the fifth. You intend to put George into what? Don't put into a situation that. But anyway, I mean, you guys are thinking anybody can speak to that.
Look, Alfonso, Mr. Cummings is a Liberian, and he loved the Liberian people. And when the Liberian people have a need, Mr. Cummings will stand up for them. You see, Ian has given his reason why he's behind his party. I have been knowing Mr. Cummings since 92, 93, 94. Many people look for people to put money in their pocket. But as a young man, I started reading a magazine called Ebony. And that magazine was a magazine that talks about the African Americans that were successful. And I was excited reading about people of my color. When I became a refugee in Ghana in 1992, and I started to work in Liberian circle, I heard the name Alexander B. Cummings, Charles Minor, Comfort Minor. These were Liberians that were changing Ghana. So those of you who are excited of going to Ghana today, maybe you don't know the history. Liberians were the one in the mix of changing Ghana. In fact, the very first private radio station should have been opened by Weber Stubberfield. He was the first person to have presented a proposal, but the Ghanaians said that it was a national something. They won't give it to a foreigner. And that's how you had Joe FN opening after Weber Stubberfield, and then they asked him to be a consultant at that place. So Mr. Cummings have always been a vision of hope for Liberia. That's the reason why President Eden Johnson Sirleaf honored him with the nation's highest honor. So if someone is being honored with the nation's highest honor for his patriotic sim and his humility to Liberia, he will always be open to work for the Liberian people. So Mr. Cummings is open. He's willing to do the Liberian people work. But Mr. Cummings also wants to be sure the Liberian people also know that they have this son who have done tremendous things around the world. You see, Alfonso, Mr. Cummings grew up in Point 4. And many people seem not to know that Point 4 is a slum community. If you grew up like in Liberia in the 1970s, if you are a big boy, you would be on Broad Street, Benson Street, Cinco. That was the big boss era. But Mr. Cummings grew up in Point 4 because he came from a very humble background. And it is in that humble background that he learned how to be honest. He learned how to be loyal. He learned how to be a person of integrity. He learned from the slum community, just like George Weah from the slum community. But the both of them took different paths. While George Weah was walking the path of the soccer world, using his talent on the field, Mr. Cummings was using his talent on the ballroom. The both of them went those two paths. George Weah became a millionaire. Mr. Cummings became a millionaire. We honor George Weah for that. Why are we still struggling to honor our second son, Mr. Cummings? The both of them took the same path to wealth. The both of them used their talent to walk towards wealth. So when we look, and both of them came from slum community. George Weah from Gibraltar, Mr. Cummings from Point 4. And that is the reason why I believe that his heart will be out there in 2029. And definitely, if he make that decision, I will be the first person behind his hand raising it out. And I will support him with everything in my vein, because I know that 2029 is a turning point for Liberia, and we must and should get it right. Because you see, Alfonso, you will retire soon. My dear brother Leon and Jan will retire soon. We have to have a country that will go back home with peace and happiness and joy.
But before I bring in Leon into this here, this seems to, your argument here, Mr. Joy, seems to be you are already started suggesting this to Cummings, correct?
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm a strong supporter of the Authoritative National Congress. And I am a strong supporter of Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. Why wouldn't I be suggesting it to him, man, Fanso? It are you think you would not be suggesting it to your man?
I know. So, yeah.
If I can just step in a little bit, I think Emmanuel did an excellent job elaborating on your question. I just want to add a few more points. If you ask me, I'm 100% certain that Mr. Cummings will run in 2029. As I get older, I think, life sometimes is about timing, right? So, when you talk to people as to why they voted Ellen Johnson to leave, it was like, the war was devastating, and she brought this grandmotherly vibe after the war to sort of reorganize everybody. And there didn't seem to be much power strife, like compared to the men. She was a little bit older. So, when you talk to people as to why they voted George Weah, they say, well, he contributed quite a bit during the war, and this a way of them sort of rewarding him. Even though they know he wasn't, if you ask them whether they felt he was really qualified, they couldn't really tell you that he was qualified. But they felt like they owe him something, and they wanted to sort of reward him for this level of effort he put. And clearly he ran and he failed, but it is what it is. Now, also when you ask people about Joseph Boyka, they tell you, well, that the Pape, he's been around, same thing. He's around, he contributed a lot to Liberia, and also he served for vice president for 12 years, and now it's time to reward him. So sometimes in life too is about timing. So you can have the right candidate, but the timing has to be right for people to make a decision. I liken this scenario to the scenario of, say, a young lady in a village, or as we call in Liberia, a fine girl in the village. So when a girl is growing up, she reaches of age, right? She decides, she's in a prime dating year. She wants to mess around with some bad boys, right? So in the history of Liberia, in the 80s and 90s, Liberia had a history of messing around with some bad boys, if you will. And then after the bad boys didn't treat her right, she decided, well, and she has some misunderstanding with her parents. She moved in to live with her grandmother. Now, in the grandmother's house, things were okay, and they're probably not as exciting or dramatic as she thought. So she decided, well, this is not too fun. Let me go ahead and start dating my bad boy again. So she returned to the bad boy, and now she's ready to settle down. So we believe that Liberians have to go through this era where they have to discover or find themselves. You know, they had to mess with a bad boy and live with grandmother for a little bit. And now they're about to find someone to really marry and that is serious. So they're looking for someone with real track record, real experience, level-headed, not flamboyant, not flashy, you know, and that can really just get things done and reliable that they can count on. So we think the timing is right. They've gotten a few things out of the system, and now it's time for them to focus. So I do think he will run, 100% confident. And I do think the timing of within the Liberian political dispensation is right, bearing that we do all the hard work, the engagement, the communication, the outreach, the social welfare activities, and all the groundwork necessary to get us to that point.
We're going to take a quick political commercial break. When we come back, the perceptions, the thinkings of the Liberian people from other people that we talk to see ANC as a party of the elite. Now you guys are going for the convention with the representations of that gathering will be widespread. We'll come back. We'll have that conversation. I'm Alfonso Zian, so we'll be right back. Government, it did not meet your core values?
I resign. Before I resign, I issue a 13-page press statement. It's on the internet. If you check, you'll find it. And then the president subsequently called me back into government because at that time, she had sent all the cabinet ministers home for 2 weeks compulsory leave. I was one of those that she called back. And I said, no, I'm not coming back into your government because what I believe you will do is not what you are doing. This country went into civil conflict and over 300,000 people were killed because of bad governance. And I see the same thing
happening,
being done by you. The same thing is happening.
That's why you told the president?
Yes, in a conversation with her. And I said, thank you, but I'm not coming back to the government.
Holding them accountable in their own words, those are the politicians in Liberia. So guys, let's have the conversations. Let's digress a little bit and go to the conventions. And I know you have heard that. If I'm just saying something insane out of the way, just wash it off from me. And people will talk to how true. There's no scientific poll to say that, but ANC has been perceived as the party of the elite. So that apprehension is there. And that's the worst thing for politicians to, for you to be defined by ordinary people. That becomes a stigma because it will be a sort of distraction. You are going to the convention now. Is that part of what we see the political demographic of Liberia be fully represented to also show and to disprove those that are saying this here that ANC is the elite party? But I'm saying the mixture of name here that seems to be in the right direction. But I'm just curious here. Will this convention put this to rest in terms of leadership, people that are going to be leading this marathon for ANC?
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, let me take a shot at that. Yeah, so you know, one of the things that I wanted to say with the last question that you asked about why Mr. Cummings, if you sit in the room with Mr. Cummings to discuss Liberia, some of the policies that he proposes, some of the things that he talks about, I think it will excite you. It's just that a lot of folks did not pay attention to what he was saying. For example, when you see a man talking about his ecotourism policy, his Liberianization policy, one have to dive into that policy to really get the grasp of what he's trying to say. And, you know, things like that, that some of us that live in this country, that have seen better country, we tend to gravitate towards that he's saying something that makes sense. So it keeps us glued to him. So that's one of the drive that kept me with Mr. Cummings. But in terms of the the narrative that the ANC is an elite party. This is one of the propaganda that we in the ANC, particularly the communication team, we did not do a good job at, dispelling. We should have done better job countering this kind of narrative. And I wish we've done more. I will be the first to confess to that. But again, it was just a propaganda. How do you have a party that, that we are all Liberians, we are all, coming from various county, but you just label us because you felt maybe one or two person may have said something, and that way you label the whole party as an elite party? No, we are not. The ANC is by no means an elite party. There are a lot of folks who, if I can even add, this is a traditional party. This is Liberian party. This is Liberian people party. There is nothing elite about this party. We should have done a better job to counter what these narratives were against Mr. Cummings and the party. Maybe there were some folks that did certain things that maybe compare other folks to say you guys are elite. But part of why we're rebranding is to go and counter some of these narratives. This is why these rebranding, we would not let any of these propaganda stand without being challenged. Going to this convention, and this is one of the reasons why I told you from the beginning that we open this up to anyone who, you don't have to be an ANC member. You can come to this convention. If you don't have a party, if you don't have any alignment with any political groups, this could be a place where you might want to come and test. Come and test us in Atlanta. See what we're about. See what the group is made up of, and and make your own assessment. Don't just listen to what people say out there. So we open this up to, if you are sedition, you are welcome. If you are halfway sedition, but you're not fully sedition, you are welcome. If you are a unity party or halfway unity party person and not made a decision, you are welcome. So we encourage everyone to be a part of this convention to see what the ANC is about, because I truly believe that once you come to this convention and see what is going on and how we believe that in the ANC, everybody is somebody, you will get to understand that this party belongs to Liberians and not anyone of an elite status or lower status. We are all Liberians, and we're looking for the best way to move forward and take this country to where it's supposed to be, as opposed to what it is now.
Josh?
Yeah, Alfonso. Let me help my friends who may not understand. The theory of elitism says that an elite, the elites, as they are a small, organized minority with disproportionate power, and can cross across any political system with a power. Let me give my friends some idea of our history. When Liberia, quote unquote, decided that it was founded in 1822, which I seriously dispute. But when we started a political entity that we call Liberia today, the elite of our country has been in three institutions for many years: the Masonic Temple, the American-Liberian class, and the church. In the case, the Providence Baptist Church. That was where our elites were for many years until the 1980 coup. But even now, the Masonic Temple have risen back. So then you have the Lebanese. The Lebanese have controlled our political economic system in Liberia for time immemorial, for the last 50 years or so. Those are what that the people you call elite. Look, Alfonso, Jika not enter my toe before. Do I know like elite? Jika not enter my toe and I play marble.
Joyce, come on.
Yeah. If you say I'm elite, then Jika shouldn't enter my toe. It's because I was hustling in a swamp. That's why Jika enter my toe. If you say I'm elite, I should not be playing marble in the street. I used to play marble from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. In fact, my father used to look for flashlight to find me to come from playing marble. Is that why you call elite? No. I think the struggle we have is that, and perhaps that may be the struggle of many people who see you as member of the ANC, is that we have decided, majority of us have decided in our life that despite the tough backgrounds we came from, I was a refugee in Ghana. I lived on the Budumburon camp, right? Water was placed under my tent, but yet them still, with 3 months of being on Budumburon camp, I had a United Nations passport to travel. So it's just people in our party are people who are committed and they are hardworking. That is not elite. Those are people who should respect for their hardworking. They are nurses. They are doctors. They are CNAs. They are whatsoever fee you find out, but they are dedicated and committed to this party with a passion. They save their $10, their $20, their $15 to support this party. So please, my people, you may see us like that, but we are common people. None of you in Monrovia know Monrovia better than me. You are the real Panambikin. I used to not go to school. When my parents used to send me to school to Katira, I used to carry 2 clothes. My friend Ishmael will not bring our story up by saying it. We used to leave class to go play, to go look at the
you play marble, George?
I play marble. I play marble. I play Coco Missy. So you may see that, but we are not an elitist part. Again, I have said from the beginning, Mr. Cummings, maybe many people forget this, or maybe many people have been out of Liberia for so long, or people have lived in Liberia and the country have changed. They don't know where Point 4 is. But Mr. Cummings grew up in Point 4. Is that an elite community in Liberia? Let someone raise their hand up and tell me that Point 4 is an elite community. That person doesn't know Liberia. They have never been to Liberia before. That's why you would say Point 4 is an elite place. He grew up in that Point 4. Yes, he went to good schools, like many of us. Our parents worked very hard, and then they decided to put 1 cent this, 1 that to send her to school, to school so that we can be better person. The same thing you're doing right now, my old man who's selling color, the same color you selling, that color that 1 cent my son, my auntie used to sell to send my cousin into school. I won't call her name, but she used to go to the police station to sell how they call it, to sell kobo. That kobo took my cousins to school, and one of my cousins raised to the highest level of the Liberian society. You will call him elite? No, we're not elite people. Even that, yeah.
All right. To the analysts,
let me just add something quick to it here.
Yeah, quick announcement here.
I mean, John, why you talk about playing my way? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to let the analysts kind of get the link out to them. So I just thought of having this sort of because we have some reactions, we have some washings here, we have some how you call it, seditions and everybody. And like I told you guys, we are also open to have a representations of ANC if that is at your will here to be like a contributor to provide the only thing CNN can pay their own contributor. We probably not get anything. We not have the money to give you. But part of that is to call everybody to get their side of the story, why they are representing this political party, why they believe in this year. I think the surrogate tool, they are answerable. But go ahead. To the analysts, the link is out. You can join us here. But go ahead, Bowman.
No, I was going to say, and thank you for that, George, because one of the, and again, I will hope that our party will do a better job next time trying to counter some of these false narratives. But let's look at it this way, Mr. Saul. If doing something right to better your country is what makes you elite, then please call me elite. If trying to have a good country where water can run, and if for that you want to call me elite, call me elite. If fighting for a country that's supposed to have a good leader that is accountable to people, if you call that elite, call me elite. But here's what I would tell Liberian folks. We deserve better than where we are right now. I don't think any of us can doubt that. None of us can debate that Liberia needs to be to a better place than what it is now. What we need to do as a country is look for the best among us. I mean, if you go to Liberia with the glasses, now they're going to call you elite because you wear glasses. If you go to Liberia with big shirt and big stomach, they will call you an elite. So you're part of our class now. So you might as well just come and join the ANC right now because you are being labeled as an elite because of the glasses that you wear. So I'm just saying we are fighting for the best for the country. Liberians want to see their country to be paired with other countries. We sit and talk about Burkina Faso. Oh, Traoré is doing this. Traoré is doing that. But do we have the ability and the potential to do the same thing that Traoré is doing? Yes, we can. All we have to do is choose the right leader. What is elitist about this kind of attitude? You have to have an attitude. American used to say sometimes when you're working with American, they say go have the go get it attitude. Go and have that go get it attitude. If you want it, go for it. We have to learn to start to select people who we believe can do the job as opposed to folks who are just part of our party and we want to please them. We are not elite. This party is a party of the people. We just strongly believe in our conviction that, hey, this man who we're following has the better idea, has the best idea, and is able to deliver us from where we are to where we need to be. This is why I encourage every one of you here, seditions, Liberty Party partisans, ANC, every one of you that are here, please go on our website, ancdiasporainfo.com. ancdiasporainfo.com. Go there and purchase your ticket. Join us in Atlanta. It's going to be the biggest party of the year. Join us in Atlanta and be a part of this grand idea that is going to be put together to go and redeem Liberia in 2029. I encourage you all to show up.
Yeah, go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, I just want to comment on this issue of quote-unquote elitists. Like both Emmanuel and Yah Bowman mentioned, this is basically just lies, distraction. You know, I feel like people can't really find too much on the ANC people. You know, the ANC people are known as the clean hands people. They're new on the block. So people just try to find things that tarnish their reputation and basically castigate them. Okay. All of us here, as you can see, you know, Emmanuel talked about his background. Y'all talk about his background. I think I mentioned earlier, I grew up in Barnesville, Quebec. I mean, I took the bus like everybody else to go to school. My parents were farmers. There was nothing about elitists or anything. They just work hard and try to hustle and struggle, you know, to take care of their children like any normal parent would. So I think sometimes when people don't understand, or maybe they need to hear more of the personal stories of who are actually in the ANC, and maybe by then they'll have a better idea, and maybe because they think him as has done X well in business, but like, you know, Emmanuel mentioned, he came from Point 4, and we all know that's a slum community. So basically, to me, that's who you want. You want people who have struggled their whole life and make it, because those are the people that will be able to help our fellow Liberians that are struggling, right? Because, you know, we've had a situation where the UP has been in power, CDC been in power, and you would think that they would have utilized.
It was try to usher our analysts, and they were also from part in the last 30 minutes or so. We gotta go, but go ahead, Mr.
Okay, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right, yeah. So you think they would use their power or their you know, position in government to help alleviate the poverty of the citizens, but they did not do it. You know, so I would surmise that you really want the ANC partisans, most of which, as you've heard, are really coming from slum communities all across Liberia and working their way up all across the world, in Liberia, across the world, and very productive. You want these people to help lead this movement at the end of the day because they know what it means to suffer. We all have been through the war, you know, from 1990 war to April 6th war octopus to all of the wars, you know. So we've experienced the suffering and the pain, and despite that, a lot of us are still able to try. So we want to take what we've learned, you know, education we've gotten, etc., and really try to help our people and alleviate. Because, I mean, how long can people live off of 50 cents a day? I mean, for as long as I recall, the last 40 years, people have barely made it. You know, surviving off 50 cents a day, going to flush toilet with well water. I go to Liberia, I still see primarily a household doing the same thing. You go to Ghana, most of the family have running toilets, have consistent electricity. And you go to Liberia, it's still a failure. You know, so we should focus more on those issues than trying to distract and say, oh, these people are X, Y, Z. No. We want to focus on solving the problem of Liberian people, and that's what we need to pay attention to. Thank you.
Okay, before we bring in the analysts, I will have final questions. We have our analyst joining us here. Koto Jalabalayan is based in New Jersey, the Garden Cities. Is a strong supporter of top President Joseph Newman Boyka. Wotton Keto somehow converted Wiashian sedition, claim to be independent, but still that Wiashian blood is still there. So you know they are here. But guys, quickly here before I bring in the who is seeking for, I don't want no salad dressing here. If you want me to make a guess, I can do it, but let me just put it right in your face. George Beaumont Mensah, who is seeking for the face of ANC Diaspora Convention. Definitely there will be a chairperson will be elected. And from what I see, what I sense out here, if we were to play a tic-tac-toe, which of course you play because you play marble, I play marble, you did it, rubber band, you did it when you win, you did it when you lost, all of that. Who is seeking for the face of ANC Diaspora leadership?
Well, as we mentioned, this is not really about personal ambition. The ANC Diaspora, at the ANC Diaspora Convention, will open up the platform. Like, for instance, we remove the restriction so that those who want to run, instead of it being a 3-year restriction, et cetera, remove those. As long as they can show, that they have some reasonable alignment with the ANC, they're allowed to run. So we can open up the platform. Emmanuel has not declared his intention. I have not. I believe there's 1 or 2 other individuals that have declared.
Somebody in disagreement with you. Yeah. Why your man said, why you want to point into a situation? He didn't say that. Can you speak for yourself, please?
Well, if he has declared, I would know. As far as I officially know, he hasn't declared. I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm just saying, ultimately, it's not really about personal. That's one reason I made this convention, we think, successful, because we've not put personal ambition ahead of Liberia's agenda. So we want to focus more on setting the infrastructure, opening up the playing field, allowing people to come in, making them feel welcome, allowing them to run. And then come on that 24th or weekend, we'll know who are the candidates. So, Alphonse, if you want to open up and run, feel free. You're more than welcome to.
Politician?
First of all, I can tell you this for a fact that
you plead the fifth on that or what?
Why should I plead the fifth? You asked me a wonderful question. We will answer it. At this point in time,
what Leon is trying to do here now is to kind of like stabilize this whole thing here and turn it around. So I'm just asking. So, do you have interest in this? Because I mean, that's the saying that always there. If you're not part of the system, sometimes to affect changes is very difficult. So I'm asking the question because I've talked to a lot of people and I have some few needs yet. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. I'm just asking a simple question. Are you into it or what? Or are you still?
No, at the moment, my focus, along with my brothers here, is to have a successful convention, to be in Monrovia next week, to be part of the national convention, to work with my brothers in Europe to make sure that the convention is successful and they have leadership in place, and then to come back to Atlanta and make sure that we have a great convention. That's my focus. That's the mandate the PL gave to me, and I'm following that mandate.
These guys already have a consolidated thought in place here. No matter what I do, I'm not going to get it out of there. Okay. So let me just, Mama, you want to say that before I bring in the guys? You want to speak to that too, or are your son are treated already, right?
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, there's one person that's going to win at that convention, and that would be the Liberian people.
There you go. Okay. Okay, the house is crowded. The analysts are here. Koto Jalabalayan, based in Jersey. Wetton Keta from Connecticut, and Dr. Jones Otavius Mali is here. The only independent guy like myself here. Some try to be here tonight. Okay, gentlemen, you've been listening to these people here, and we have had a conversation here about ANC and many other political parties. But this convention here, from what we're hearing, it seems to be like restructuring, rebirth, reintroduction, introduction, everything here. This remix going to be coming here. Let me bring in first come, first serve. Koto, I saw you tweeting say you want to be an advisor. You live in Boyka now to ANC. You want to be a political consultant, advisor to ANC?
Thank you, Mr. So, and I want to say good evening, good day to our fellow, all my fellow ANC net. I don't know how they call them because all the things have been added to share me and what have you. But I haven't found a nomenclature for the ANC. But I like to say congratulations, and I wish you all success in your endeavor in promoting is an comment. And So I always saying it, I am a founding member of the ANC, and we formed this ANC then for an alternative party, but then people from the CDC and some of us from the support of the Unity Party came together to fund an alternative. That's why it was given the name Alternative Party. And I am glad that I still see people, affiliating with the ANC, which I love to share. And in politics, we have different way of analyzing. I've been listening to all of you, the analysis you guys have been making, and I know you guys personally know Mr. Kume. But this is where for some of us we come. If I don't know you, and if I don't trust you, and if I don't, in politics, I learned politics. I probably also, let me call myself as a politician. I always do the check mark when a candidate is proposed or candidate has been sent to me. What do? I try to check mark. Is he this education, financial, credible, and with all of the qualities of a good leader? That's how I select my leaders. And if you see that I may not have supported Kume, that's the reason. And to some point, I was really advocating at the time when you guys, if you guys knew me then, I was advocating then for Kume to run along with Baka, which would have been a nice one for me. I was proposing then. But then it went the other way around. And putting the two of them together, I chose who I could trust best. Many of you know, but have you asked the question? And I heard George saying, people say they don't know. And I even heard, I think Brown also said that, people saying they don't know Kume, and if they think that Kume should be sold, they should promote Kume. Well placed. But let me tell you, presidential election is concentrated. It is not that where you go in a particular sector, like the representatives or the senators go in a particular and the people know them there and vote for them. When it comes to presidential, you should have people in all of the counties that can vote and that can stand for you. Has Kume reached that? Not yet, to me. And this is where, and people who are coming to support Kume have not, strategized that to see, okay, this is the new people saying they don't know Kume. What can we do for them to know Kume? What can we do for them to trust Kume? And for me, this is where, for me, I'm waiting. I could be supporting Boyka now, but to provide you guys with a strategy, I can do that because
let's keep it succinct. Let's keep it brief, either the questions, so that we'll give them the opportunity to respond. I hope you guys are taking down notes. Keto, you've been listening to the gentlemen. They are talking about their convention coming. Are you going to the convention? Is there any question you want to ask them?
Well, thank you, CEO, and I would like to say welcome to LPR. I'm talking about the ANC officials here, and hi to my fellow panelists, the political raving who want to be supporter of Boga, and Dr. Mali, who knows where he is today, whether he on the fence or on the fence, nobody know. But welcome. So on a serious note, yeah, I've been following the ANC officials, especially Mr. Emmanuel George, on different platforms and stuff like that. ANC is an opposition at this point, as well as CDC, which is the biggest opposition party. And I think one of the things that ANC is concerned with now is the bad governance in our society, the removal of Joseph Boakai administration that is causing a whole lot of hurdles for our country. And my observation, and it was in the past, the ANC in the past, where people turn to look down on other Liberians that have different affiliation to different parties, right? As soon as you speak, the ANC folks, the surrogates will come down on you. And where people look at it and say, elite party, they think they are elite. Nobody educated than nobody. You can get your PhD. It's is relative to the next man with his master's degree or his high school diploma, because everybody is special in their own ways. But when group of people think that they have this dominant overall knowledge, that you look at another group of Liberians and call them names because they gave their devotion to somebody else, that it is not your preference, I found problem with that. And that caused and it is not coming a whole lot in our Bali politics. Going forward, I also see Mr. Emmanuel George doing similar thing, right? In the opposition, he's part of the opposition now, but trying to bring down another opposition party which is the key opposition party. I'm thinking that Mr. George and other officials, if the other two have not even said, I think when Leon said something to a little bit condescending about George. We are, but I think it's a learning moment for ANC. ANC is in the opposition. She should learn to collaborate, to speak as an opposition voice. The singular most important thing to do now is to get Joseph Boaga, or how they can get Joseph Boaga, is to cooperate and have one voice, unite the opposition community to get this man up. Convention is beautiful. Go to convention, have your party reunited and everything, strategize everything, but you will have to have a collaboration to be able to get the presidency. Whether he goes as vice president or whether the ticket change later, we don't know. But the collaboration, it is too early to start bringing a little bit of distastefulness within the opposition group. That's my own advice to.
Okay. All right, guys, please just how you're going to respond. Let's hear from them. Let's bring in Dr. Male right here from my own Ocean State of Rhode Island. Dr. Male, Keto is already getting your throaty things so of us here. I mean, that's how they do. Even though now I'm surprised. I don't know whether I can still give him the license of being independent. I don't think so. But Dr. Male, you listen to the gentleman. More or less taking a different shape of their party and where they want to see it going. What are your apprehensions, if there's any?
Well, first of all, I want to thank our brothers. I don't know whether they're from the left or they're from the right wing, but in any case, I think they are Liberians. But I have before I get into my analysis, I have two questions to ask my brothers. First of all, has the ANC come to terms to understand the voting population in Liberia? That's my first question. Two, has the ANC managed to resolve issues surrounding political symbolism? Thank you.
Okay, let's bring in the Reverend, and he is a Boashins, just a strong supporter of President Joseph Newman Boyka. Terry Collins is our analyst based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Terry, I saw you tweeting crazy here. Let's hear you. What's your argument?
Tweeting. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Mr. So, and to the audience. Actually, I just have a few concerns, and my concerns have to do with how well are they selling Mr. Cummings today, not yesterday, not the election 2 years ago, but how well are they selling Mr. Cummings? I think I see them for the first time on here tonight. I have not, maybe they have been on social media. I see this, my dear brother, Mr. Emmanuel, G.K. Josh. Been following him on Spoon, very eloquent, and also Mr. Barman, yeah, and all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to know how well are you guys selling Mr. Cummings today, and the upcoming convention, and also I wanted to know what is ANC political capital like today in Liberia. If you have a specific political capital that you can look at, like what Dr. Mali said, the population, how you being able to differentiate the class of people you're dealing with. I believe Mr. Cummings got bright ideas. I myself would love to support Mr. Cummings. I think Mr. Cummings can be a very good president. But I think where we're having struggle is bringing him to the Liberian people, for the Liberian people to make up their minds that this is the guy we want. I think that is where ANC is struggling, you know. So my thing is that, can Mr. Cummings be trusted with the people vote? You know, I believe the longer Mr. Cummings stay in the vanguards of the Liberian, in the vanguards of the political landscape of Liberia, the more he engaged the Liberian people on various fronts and various levels, they will begin to gain confidence and trust in him to be able to vote for him. I think vote is based on perception, and the perception comes from whether if you are relatable enough to the people for them to trust you. I think that is where Mr. Cummings is struggling, and I really would like to know from our guests in regards of these things, because I found out that those were some of the hitches, those were some of the hiccups, because it brought us a guy very eloquent, advanced himself, who struggled from the down up, but they put him in a box wherein he was not relatable to the people. He was completely absent from the people. The people couldn't reach him. So as a result, it was difficult for them to see him to be the man of the day. Thereby, we make wrong decisions often. That is how I believe we make mistakes in selecting our people, is because those who are around us fail to do the groundwork. So yeah, I will just leave it as it is.
Okay, let's give our guests the opportunity to, you know, a lot was said so that they will respond. Gentlemen, here we are, here we go. This is what we do here on LPR.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Leo Menza, I didn't mention you, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Alfonso, if it's okay with you, maybe so we don't duplicate efforts, I can take the question from Koto and then I'll pass it on to, say, Emmanuel or Yad, and they can take the question from other folks just so we don't repeat.
Yeah, sure.
You know. Okay, I think Koto talk about, well, first of all, Koto, I want to welcome you back. I know you'll be returning soon to the ANC, so thanks for your efforts before. To your question about, it's coming really reaching the people as he form a relationship locally in the various counties, districts, etc. I can assure you that's exactly what he's doing. Mr. Cummings has learned a lot, about Liberian, this political dispensation, the way things work, over the last several years. So one of the lessons learned I see him doing differently is really engaging more locally with whether it be county leadership, district leadership, traditional leaders, et cetera, really forming those bonds that we'll need for in the future come election time. So he's doing the work, trust me, and by having people like yourself come around, rejoin the ANC, share your ideas, we can assure you that whoever takes leadership in the party, we'll take all the bright ideas we can get and make sure we try to nudge people coming to implement those things that are good, practical, like what you mentioned. Those are exactly some of the things we're going to be doing. So thanks for the question, and I'll turn it over to Emmanuel to take, maybe take the other one and pass it on to Emmanuel, you're on mute.
Oh, my sister Koto, good evening. Waiton, good evening. Dr. Male and Terry, good evening. Good to see you guys. Koto, you see, our constitution say is to choose a vice running mate is in the hand of the standard bearer, the head of the ticket. He's the one who call people, say, I want to choose you. Uncle Joe Boyka never ever asked Mr. Cummings to be his vice running mate. So please go and ask him. Tell him, say why he didn't do, because I have interviewed his people. After the elections, I was writing a book, but I was giving a position that was critical, so I couldn't finish writing my book. So I went to research. And I know the answer to it because here people have told me the answer. You remember when we decided to meet in Ghana, when Mr. Cummings and VP Barker had a meeting that was supposed to be secret in Ghana? Before we could close the door, you people get the information of Costa. Before we go close the door, you put past the information to Costa. The people all over in the media. So you people did not come with clean hand, and none of you asked, because the propaganda you people have been running with it for so long. Nobody asked Mr. Cummings to be running mate today. You can ask Uncle Joe. I hope you come into the program in Washington or this weekend, so you and myself can ask him together. I will be there for the diaspora conference, so we can ask him together. Uncle Joe, did you ask Mr. Cummings to run the ticket? So that be there, that be there, and that Uncle Joe together, whether he did that. Because that is propaganda you probably running with. That be lying on Mr. Cummings. You offer the man vice president ticket, then you say he refused. I will refuse, so that nobody give to you. So nobody give it to us. But Koto, I campaign in District 17. I campaign in District 16. I campaign in Cape Mount, in Babulu, in Bomi County. I was in Liberia for the elections. The Liberian people did not reject Mr. Cummings. In fact, in District 17, they will come up. They want to make Wayton happy. They will show me in the hand. You say that blood, that CDC blood. If the we is not on the ticket, I will vote for Mr. Cummings. So you see, I don't let it lie. So I tell you the truth. What we faced when we were campaigning. So it was not that they didn't know Mr. Cummings or like him, but they felt that at that time, this was the person, this was the most people. And besides that, the ANC was the fastest growing political party in Liberia before the election. Before we enter even the arrangement we enter with you all, we were the fastest growing political party in Liberia. And we're going to work that up. We're going to come back. So let me take my dear brother. It is good to be in opposition. We're not against opposition. But you see, when snake bite you, even when you see rope, you will run away. The way the snake bite in the CPP arrangement, shut my man. This time, we take it our time. Remember, bear with us. Snake bait us. But wait on, you said been following it. When your people can't talk, you say we should not talk about coming, we will talk about opposition group together. But when I see my CDC brother, they always talking about we are 2029. They say that the opposition are solidarity 2029. They say they want to say we are 20, but we are opposition. We are all friends. We're going to fight against this government. That's true. But the issue here now is for us to decide who's going to be the hell of the ticket. Unfortunately, last week Friday on Spoon Radio, you can go and listen to my dear friend. What his name? The former foreign minister came and he did breaking news. Right? He said Maxwell came here. He said we are running 2029. The man look at the rest of all he threw out the basket. Then he also said the election was rigged. The back at it. That don't want that for you to analyze it, my brother. So that's why I want to tell you. But this is what, if you ever ridden an airline, I show every one of you here listening to me who have ridden an airline. They always tell you at the beginning, in the case of emergency, oxygen mask is going to drop. When that mask drop, take it and put on your nose flat. Make sure you're alive before you help other people. We got to be living as ANC before we start taking care for other people. I will be struggling to bring our party together to be strong, then we take care for other people. No. We got to be living first. When we have life and we're strong, then we start working as we're supposed to work. And that we do. We do work. We do talk together. We do meet together. We do have conversation together in that end. So that's the point I wanted to make. I think, Dr. Mali, if no one answers your question, I will answer it. You're talking about the voting population. Dr. Mali, let me tell you this thing. This is the math I have found. You can also do your research for it. In the first round of the elections, there was 522,000 voters who registered and did not vote. In the second round of the election, there were 837,000 Liberians who registered and did not vote. In the first round of the election, former President George Weah won the first round of the election by 804,000. That was the number he had, and Vice President Joseph Boyka had 790 votes. By the time you come to the second round, former President George Weah lost over 200,000 votes in the second round of the elections. So that is our voting population we will start looking at. We'll start looking for this 837,000 people who did not vote in the last election. And we'll start working with them as we look for that. And you're talking about political symbolism. Yeah, we try as we work hard and we continue to have a conversation, we'll find it. It's very good. I mean, the entire Liberian politics is based on political symbolism and emotions. I agree with you on that. And that's why we as ANC, and that's the blame we would take. We as ANC, we have not been able to have a symbolic thing that Liberians can rally around us and carry us, make a music that will entice the people. Joseph Boyka have Pape Sari, we sorry, we'll vote for you. Jowia ha, you know Bo, you don't know Bo, we'll vote for you. Ma Ellen have Mama Kanhu, you know, although we have not gotten that, but by the grace of God, inshallah, by the time we get close to 2029, I can assure you, because we're going to work this time. We're going to work very hard with the opposition, the opposition along with us. We're going to work hard, but we'll make sure that the oxygen mask, we breathe in first, and we are doing good so that we can be able to support our friends. Thank you.
Okay, I know we've been here till
Jan have not spoken. No, I talked too much.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me come in quick here. Y'all forget about me. Okay, so and thank you very much, George. You stated it well, and thank you, Leon. I just wanted to answer the question to my brother Keta, because I think what you said was not so much of a condemnation or criticism. I think it was an honest advice that you give us. It's something for us as a party to look at. I think your question was, ANC speak down to people. I think that's, regardless of how it comes out, is something that we should take into strive and move on. I take that as a challenge to us. What that means is, it just means that maybe the messaging, maybe our approach should be slightly different from what we did in the past. Because I always say this, our leader always say you can't do the same thing over and over and expect different results. We're certainly not going to do what we did in the past. If folks spoke down to people, the messaging this time we expect it to be different. ANC, like we said, we have a lot of auxiliary. We have different groups out there doing their own thing. Everybody, the instruction was coming from perhaps their leader, or maybe whatever their communication team was doing. They had a global, they had ANC Midwest, they had all of these different groups. Now with a unified ANC coming under one umbrella, I can honestly assure you that the message will be synchronized. We will come out with a single views, and also to let people know that Mr. Cummings is not talking down to anybody. A lot of you who have interviewed Mr. Cummings, you know how humble he is. If he doesn't talk down to people, then who are you as a messenger to go and talk down to people? So that's something that we would take into advice and move on. And we'll do our best to sell Mr. Cummings. I will say this, you asked about Boakai and Mr. Cummings. My sister Jala asked that, and I think it was right. Judge said it right. There was no time that Mr. Cummings was asked, and it's one of those narratives that usually goes out and people say, oh, well, why he didn't go number 2? He didn't go number 2. What I can tell people is this. Our involvement with the CPP, and I said this from the beginning of the show, our involvement with the CPP took a lot away from the ANC in terms of how we sell ourselves as a party. Because now we were selling the entire ANC. We were now selling Mr. Cummings alone. Even though Mr. Cummings was the head of the CPP, but keep in mind the CPP was a group of political leaders that came together to do what they are doing. And because of that, the focus was CPP. It was not Mr. Cummings. So now that we have a singular focus, which is Mr. Cummings, I think the messaging will be different. And I look forward to seeing all of you out there and hopefully being a part of the ANC. So Sis Jala, I hope you come back. We want to see you as part of the movement. If you did well with Mr. Cummings the last time, I don't think it should change. Come back, let's do it. Mr. Collins, thank you for the question. I think you also said something about how well we're selling Mr. Cummings. Again, it goes back to the CPP. We were selling Mr. Cummings as a CPP candidate. And for a lot of you that know what happened in the CPP, we spent several months defending our political leader innocence, that he did not finger any document. That took a lot from us. It took a lot from us. And then some loudmouth went out there. They amplified that thing that Mr. Cummings did this, Mr. Cummings did that. And we were forced to be fighting that as opposed to campaigning. So a lot of that took a lot from us. But going forward with this unified force that we're going with a singular mindset on the ANC, And again, it doesn't mean that we may not get in collaboration. Maybe if it permits, we'll look at it. But like Josh said, right now we are looking internally to fix what we did not complete it last time, and we'll look internally, restructure, do our best, promote the ANC, and then whatever happens in the future with collaboration, we look forward to that.
Okay, welcome, Moses. Guys, I know we hope to have this, but let me play something here because this is something that I kind of spotted out, and I know it was done on purpose. Politicians are very strategic in order to grab the niche and run with it. Let me speak today, and then you guys, you can have a take.
To our ANC diasporans in the United States, I hope this meets everybody well. As you know, we'll be going to a convention in Atlanta, Georgia, in about 5 or 6 weeks. It will be a very important milestone, an event for the ANC in the United States. I remind you that Liberia continues to be challenged. Our people continue to suffer. And unless we're prepared and are willing to work together as a people, will not change Liberia. You in the diaspora in the United States have an opportunity to set the example of putting differences aside, of putting egos aside, and coming together to create the strongest diasporan organization in the United States. So as we think about Atlanta, I ask you to think about Liberia and the suffering of our people, and realize that by strengthening ourselves, coming together, we can impact change in Liberia. So I hope I can count on you to make this convention the most successful convention we've had in the ANC, and indeed, perhaps the most successful convention any Liberian political party has had in the United States. I look forward to seeing all of you in Atlanta, to celebrating coming together as one diaspora organization, and to therefore impacting the party in Liberia and future elections in our country. I thank you, God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
And he didn't stop there. Thank you so much, Esther. I'm going to make that. But there were two different versions. Being very strategic, talk to the diasporans, and took it back home. And I know diaspora are going to be the game changer comes 2029. President Boakai is here. Belete is here. Kome is coming. Joshua is coming. There is something bigger that we need to know. And he decided to send this message at home as well.
To my fellow ANC partisans here in Liberia, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you listen to this video. As you know, we're having a convention in a few weeks, the weekend of October 2nd, somewhere in Margibi. And this message comes to encourage all of us to actively work towards making this convention a success. We need to start a new chapter in the ANC, one where we're all willing to work, to sacrifice, to volunteer on behalf of our country, our people, and our party. So I hope I can count on you to put all of your differences aside, all of the bickering, and let's just focus on having a good convention. Let's focus on electing qualified, committed, passionate people who support the ANC in our mission and values. And let's just have a successful convention and turn a new chapter in the history of the ANC. So I thank you in advance. I know I can count on you, and I'm excited about the convention, but more importantly, I'm excited about the future of the ANC, because I know all of you will work together so we can have this vibrant and exciting political institution. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
So there seems to be a pattern to consistency coming in his side, saying the honest factions, I hope I can count on you. He's still not giving up. He's still giving that political, waving that political, whatever things that happen. Yes, you never took me the last time around, but I still believe in you. I still trust in you. What was he trying to project, gentlemen?
Yeah,
Mensa, you can go.
Yeah, I'll step in. I think
what happened in the past.
Go ahead, yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, no, what I was saying is I think one of the things that we keep emphasizing is that, after the last election, given the number that we end up with, the 1%, which of course a lot of people like to tease over 1%, it's a tag that or label that is on us now. We can't deny that. Even though the 1% was on CPP, not on the ANC. And I think a lot of times we try to distinguish that the 1% was from the CPP, it was not an ANC 1%. So when a lot of people out there saying, oh, Mr. Cummings, ANC got 1%, it was not ANC, because if you were part of the CPP, it means that Liberty Party too got 1%. So, but again, be that as it may, because Mr. Cummings was the head of the ticket, so of course they label him as 1%. We'll take that and strive and move on. But I think that 1% give and the teasing that comes with that and the mockery that came with that, it frustrated a lot of our folks, especially those of us in the diaspora that work so hard to make sure that we end up good. A lot of folks were frustrated. As of now, as we're speaking to you, some of our supporters, they are still with Mr. Cummings. They are still die hard with him, but they are frustrated because of the way we ended up. And how else can Mr. Cummings ease the anger of his people, the frustration of his people? I think what he was doing there was trying to rally his base. That we have not, there's nothing to be frustrated about. Keep your heads up. Let's meet. Let's re-strategize. Let's get back together. Let's move this thing forward. This time we will come different, and we will do it differently, and we will do it robustly. I need all of you. So I think it was his way of reaching out to tell his supporter, I'm still here with you. I understand your feelings. I understand your frustration. That 1% is not representative of who we are. Obviously, the election in Liberia, we all can tell, whether it was fair or not. I think it's your own judgment. But I think Mr. Cummings is trying to rally his crowd. This is why he's asking every one of us in the diaspora to be in Atlanta. Be there, buy your ticket, come and have fun with Mr. Cummings. You will have that one-on-one engagement with him if you have the opportunity, and you can tell him what you think. Question like, do you think your people sold you better? Do you think you could have done things better? Do you, all of these things, we will mark them down. Even as we're speaking right now, I'm taking your questions. I'm writing them down. In the next meeting, these are some things that we will discuss with Mr. Cummings, because the way forward now is not to go in as we did in the past. We want to make sure that he's listening to what people are saying out there, that he's listening to them, and he's formulating ideas to at least let the Liberian people know that this is what I'm about, and I hear your voice, and I'm going to do this. And I think this is his rallying crowd for his people.
Also, who was the author of that public relations?
For what? For the video?
The video. So who's the author of that?
Oh, my people.
I mean, who? Go ahead. You don't have to. I'm curious. Who were providing that sort of consultancy? I'm trying to go beyond it.
Mr. Point of inquiry, real quick. Point of inquiry, quickly. Can I?
Yeah.
2 seconds. I just wanted to ask, just to clear the air, whether if Mr. Cummings is running, and whether is there anybody running against him to the convention.
Ooh. You guys,
yeah, but we answered that question before. But
the deadline is September.
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
The deadline is September 30th. So as of now, we don't know who are running. We have names. We have ideas.
I think he's talking about the convention in Liberia. whether anybody run against Mr. Cummings with a convention.
Yes, that's why I'm saying the deadline for submission. Excuse me. The deadline for candidate submission is September 30th. So we don't know yet.
Okay. Thank you so
much. 30 seconds, please. Yes. The two questions I did advance in the discussion, I think they were handled. But this is what I try to bring forth. For the basis of the elites that were just issued, that were just analyzed by the host, I talk about the issue of the voting population. You say, we can go to all the convention, ANC can go to all the convention, have all the international proclamation made as the political leader just did. But I think there's this stigma and a terrible mindset of the voting population that Kumi is a black skin in the room. I don't know how many of y'all have been able to look into that. And secondly, Kumi, the ANC political leader emerged from a very sophisticated system, believing in rule of law, due process, human right, accountability. And now he's moving into a system with a political party that don't believe, into a society that don't believe in these things. So at the end of the day,
oh my God,
he comes from a place where there is a strong judicial system. He's moving into a territory where there is corrupt and a rampant judicial system. So my question is, how is the political mechanism of ANC going to mitigate, to convince we the so-called learner in Liberia that indeed this is a party that I can join? That one question. And the second question is, those who working with ANC, have you done your assessment and homework to understand the voting population that don't believe in platform, but rather rice and other welfare items? That's the second question.
Oh my God.
All right. Moses came in. He have not said anything. What do you guys? We're just playing that video to answer, and I know it's already out of time. We don't want to keep them here over the time. So, Moses, do you have, so that way they can do the wrap out, and then maybe we can spend 5 minutes, because I think the LPR guys are really coming out of their share now. So, yeah. So, Moses, do you have any questions so that they will just do it in all with their wrap up?
Well, yeah, specific to this program this evening. Good evening, gentlemen, and my sister Koto, and other LPR analysts. And I apologize for my little tardiness. I won't say the reason why, because the CEO knows. My only concern here is this: as Liberia Liberia started the process of post-war. Prior to the war, we understood that we have one party system, and within our system. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Okay, because I was just getting a call. But anyway, William R. Todler was the one who was attempted to introduce a multicultural system. Ever since then, we've had so many different political parties. What I've observed over the years is that many of these political parties are not independent of the candidates. The political party are organized based on the capacity of the candidates. With ANC now coming up again this time, talking about having a convention, how independent is the institution to that of not always hearing the newcomers? Because I see that they've centered their key talk, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings. How independent is your political party, or what are you intending? I'm not giving you anything to do, but you know, what are your intentions of building this institution to the point that when Cummings leaves, that the institution will stay as this, and the philosophy of the institution will continue throughout. And I say this to say that many of us who support political parties in Liberia, we actually do not support the parties, we support the individual running on the tickets. And many Liberians in the diaspora will not identify with the political party, but instead support the individual. And I think that's where our biggest issue are. And so when those people go in, we try to hold them accountable because they're not working to our individual satisfaction because we supported them. Instead of looking at the institutional philosophy and mandate of the political party. That's my only question I have.
Okay, I would just want to give it to our guests now, and then they can wrap up. We don't want to keep them. We want to have the opportunity that we can bring them in. We don't want to just continue. So, gentlemen, those are the final thoughts, questions, concerns, and all of that. We can use that to make your final statement for the night, and then we can all call it. So, who wants to take the lead?
Alfonso, I haven't gone in a while, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
Speak up on these last two questions. So the first question about, can Cummings really take his structured background and experience and adapt it to a very tricky environment, like Liberia? Well, the way I would answer this question is we have to look at this in terms of what we need as Liberia. So we've had presidents that ruled Liberia in the last 50 years, and we have not seen them transform this society called Liberia in any meaningful way, right? And how we measure progress is through human development, through education, through infrastructure, through hospitals, right? So all these things. Pretty much when you go across the board, I mean, we don't really need any special economists or scientists tell us that Liberia's failed pretty much on all the metrics. So now the question becomes, okay, what are the available options, and who best aligns with what we need as Liberians to take care of our day-to-day our day-to-day needs? What do we really need in Liberia? We need jobs, we need income, we need someone that understands how to manage resources and budget, right? So I would submit to you that the experience that Mr. Cummings has is exactly what we need, because he has experience creating jobs, right? Over 80% of our people are unemployed or underemployed, right? He has experience creating jobs all across the world, so he understands what it takes. What else do Liberians need? We have natural resources worth trillions of dollars: iron ore, diamond, timber, etc. Someone that understands. I was in a business meeting once with Mr. Cummings, very short meeting, and the people were really ready to, do deals worth tens of millions of dollars. I say this because the global system, the global financial system, it's like a network of people that rely on credibility, on your credibility. So in order to extract these resources into tangible developmental cash that we can use to develop the infrastructure, our school system, our roads, our bridges, our highways, our hospitals, you need someone who's credible and go to the international system. It's okay. Here we package our resources in a way. A guy like Cummings can go to Wall Street and raise a couple of $1 billion because they understand what he's done. But in reality, none of our presidents in the last 50 years have gone to Wall Street and raised that money likely because they don't have the experience. But those are the experiences that Cummings has. So I would say we don't want to think of it in too much of a scientific way. I would say let's think of it in terms of what we need. We need jobs, we need income, We need to extract our resources, turn it into capital to develop. Those are exactly the experience that Cummins has. The second question was related around how independent is this new organization we're setting up. I'll be the first to tell you that a lot of things, we've been working on this standing up of the new organization in the last year. And even some things Cummins weren't too happy with. Obviously we can't disclose what they were, but because that was a collective decision of, the general committee, he went along with it. So I would submit to you that this organization is very independent. Definitely respect his leadership, respect his input. He did have a lot of input, but he wasn't happy with everything. But he still has gone along with, some of the things that we think is very different than before. I mentioned this earlier in the call, but some of you weren't on. Is that we're decentralizing decision making from Mr. Cummins' office, at least from the diaspora, right? So before, pretty much everything that had to be done across the country had to go through Mr. Cummins' office, etc. We're saying that's too much burden to put in one person's office, giving resources, etc. So one of the things we're doing is having local, county, district leadership from the diaspora working in conjunction with the local counterparts to really identify what are the needs of our people, what are their pain points, what needs to get done, and they can make decisions, pair them up with the resources they need to execute things efficiently. So we can say that this is the organization, respective of all values and beliefs, but it's not, dependent solely on one person. It's an institution we're building and want to make sure people have the voice in the day-to-day state of the organization.
Okay. Who next want to go? Mr. Bowman, so Mr. George.
CEO, can it incorporate this question with the response, the closing statement? Just it's a simple question.
We can't be doing that. What is simple?
No, just a simple question. I want to know if ANC, Mr. Cummins will be willing, because two of the guests insinuated that Unity Party or Joseph Parker never asked Cummins to be his running mate. At this point, 2029, will Mr. Cummins be willing to go as a vice honor, maybe George Weah?
Oh God! So the last time of workout so nice if you go, we are right. Okay, guys.
Terry, Cotto, Wilton, Dr. Jones, and Moses, thank you so much, Alfonso, for the opportunity of having this conversation and interacting at this time, and the honor for bringing us to your show. To the Liberian people out there, let me share this thing. It is only you that can make the decision as to who your leader will be. I'm going to introduce you to a man called Alexander B. Cummins. A few years ago, I was blessed by the Almighty to go to a place called United Arab Emirates. In the 1970s, a gentleman by the name of Mohammed Rashid Al-Maktoum turned that country around, and today is the hub of the Middle East. One man, great wisdom and great vision, turned the country around. I want to introduce you to a man called Alexander Benedict Cummins. I strongly believe that a vision of Mr. Cummins honored the Alternative National Congress can change Liberia to where we want to be. We are not where we want to be. When I was growing up, we're way ahead of Sierra Leone. We're way ahead of La Journée. But today, Sierra Leone now passes us. La Journée now passes us because of poor leadership. We can do this thing, Liberians. Look, if you are a member of the ANC, we're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia from the 24th to the 26th. Milk Candy will be there. Kaya will be there. Coconut Candy will be there. Anything you want will be there. In fact, my sister Wanty Clark, my sister Denise Gard, my sister Patricia Morgan, they are preparing place for you. Just call them if you need somewhere to stay. Call Mr. Bowman anytime if you need more information. Go to ANC Diaspora
I finished forgetting the thing, but Mr. Boma will tell you it better. Go there, register for the convention. Come to Atlanta, Georgia. My dear brother Witton, you keep saying that we let talking Mr. Comey, Mr. Comey, Mr. Comey, Mr. Comey. You come and say Mr. Comey to be second on the ticket again. You're not Jowia. The only person that can make that decision at Jowia. Only Jowia can go to Mr. Comey. And the two of them are friends. They always meet it. To talk about that one. But it stays soon. This evening, we want to sympathize with President Jowia for the fire at his house. We want to pray with him and his family that everything will be well with them. But at this time, right? If you don't have party account to the ANC, and then I kick you out of your party account to the ANC. You know, wait on. Every Liberian president have the opportunity to hire between 500 to 1,000 people. In the election, over 800,000 all can vote for the president. Political job like only 1,000. What will happen to the rest of the people? Amen. Wait on. You know who can create job for our country? Mr. Comey was the one who told you people within 5 years of his leadership, we raised the Liberian budget, 3 years rather, Liberian budget to over $1 billion. And we show you all the plan. Within 3 years, our people will get jobs. Wait on. When last you ever saw a Liberian, how do you call it, job report? Mark Otto, you gone? Come and tell Mark Otto. When last you saw Liberia job report? Under Mr. Comey, you will see job report every month. Gentlemen, you all have a good day. Be nice people, you guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's hear it, Bowman, before you leave. Bowman, are you there? You get a final thing before we...
I think he spoke already.
Oh, he spoke already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he frozen.
No, yeah, I'm not spoken. I think he may be frozen.
Okay.
I mean, I can say a concluding word and we wrap up.
Okay. Let me move in. Yeah. Okay, then go ahead, Leon.
Yeah. So, Alfonso, fellow host, a panelist, analyst, I just want to say thank you for hosting all this evening on your show. It's been a good experience. My first time here. As you all know, we've worked over the last year and a half or so to really remobilize ANC in the diaspora. It has been a lot of challenges, but we're now coming together. And come October 24th to the 26th, we'll have this convention. Mr. Cummings is going to be there. Liberians all across the USA are very excited about this new direction. We've tried all of these current presidents, and with all due respect, we failed on so many levels. So we're proposing that it's time to try somebody new, somebody with a proven track record of creating jobs, of boosting income, of managing budget, of creating resources, exactly what we need as Liberians. So in order to do this, we need all Liberians to come together, to join the ANC diaspora, whether in Liberia, we outside Liberia. Come participate. We have one life to live. We've given all our current presidents the shot, and they did not execute. We have to change direction. We're getting older. Life is moving. Other countries are developing. They're leaving us way behind. To this day, we don't even have a fitting airport that actually works. You go there, it's breaking down, air conditioning doesn't work. This day and age, I just came back from China a few weeks ago. Massive development, high rise all over the place. And I look and say, where is Liberia going? Ghana's developing, other countries developing, we're still behind. So we're pleading with all Liberians, let's put aside party differences and just think logically, if you had an organization, who would you hire to manage that organization? If you had the three candidates sitting in front of you, who would you select? Let's pray about it, let's think about it, but come to the convention, come have some fun. The party is open. You're more than welcome to run for leadership, run to be a member, etc. And we look forward to seeing you in Atlanta. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a good evening.
All right, Senator Bowman, I know you were kind of frozen, so quickly here, a final word. It's frozen again? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
You want to unmute yourself? You have to unmute yourself.
I think it's frozen. His screen is not moving.
Yeah, why is it? Okay.
Maybe it's the internet.
Yeah, I'm experiencing an internet problem. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Okay, yeah, go ahead now.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm having an internet problem here, so I'm not sure what's going on. But let me just quickly say thank you, Mr. Soul, and thank you to the panelists for being with us here. It's great for this invite. It's a privilege to be on your platform to discuss our upcoming convention. You know, we pride ourselves in the ANC that ANC is a party where everybody is somebody. We look forward to. Can you hear me at all?
We're hearing you loud and clear. Go ahead. We're hearing you. Go ahead. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think it's not working for him on his end.
Delay. There's a delay.
We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, just talk.
Okay. All right, Mr. George, Mr. Menzat, thank you guys so much for your time. We're looking forward to having this sort of conversation on a routine basis. Don't hesitate to reach out to us just in case, thank you so much.
Okay, take care, everyone.
All right, bye. Okay, guys, before we go, let's just do 1 minute each. I mean, you listen to them lengthily, the expose and where they want to take ANC here. So, Keto, you started off now the last time around because there was this saying and they put it out now that they were never asked. Mr. Cumming was never approached at any time by now President Boyka to be, John, now you. Esther say, hell no, not even in hell. So, what is this all about? But overall, what was the lesson learned from these gentlemen? And I think, and we had a conversation before. I think you remember we're coming with these French of this, that, different auxiliary. And I said, this would be a potential problem because at the end of the day, you don't have control. And you can't say they're not speaking for you because you are aware of their existence. And from what we are hearing now, they're trying to consolidate their effort and have a one group. But let's hear you quickly here. 1 minute. What's your takeaway from the presentation here tonight?
Well, it was beautiful. I think the idea of coming together and have consolidated mindset moving forward is a good thing. But I think they're still in denial of the political structure in Liberia or the political landscape in Liberia. The politics in Liberia is different from the politics abroad. The people know the leader in Liberia. And Mr. Male asked a very good question. Do the people really know Cummings? And I think Terry too asked the same question. Are they doing what it takes for the people to really get to know Cummings? And one of the things I think, and I share with a lot of ANC people, and Emmanuel alluded to that during the past election, people said, you see me, my block, that CDC, Joe, we are the only one people Joe, not in the race. Everybody share the same sentiment. So what the Liberian people are telling Cummings and his supporter, join a formidable party, be the number second man, and then you rise to the occasion and be the number first man. It can happen that way. If he had gone on Joseph Boyka, he probably would have been vice president. This whole conversation would have taken a different trend. Maybe we would have been saying President Boyka will have one term, Cummings will become president next. We'll not be talking about too much of George Weah, but George Weah is in the picture. You cannot erase George Weah from being the primary.
Well, where is Joel now? You're telling ANC to how? Where are you leaving Joel now?
Well, this is the opposition. Joel is in the opposition. Joel Taylor is in the opposition.
No, but I
She's
ask
from
you
MPP.
why you never suggested or you're finished with her now?
No. Nobody finished what I'm saying. I asked the question because he said Joseph Boakai never asked Cummings to be his running mate. So I said, if George Weah asked Cummings to be, you have to put people on the back heels. So because Joseph Boakai never asked Cummings, okay, we're in a new dispensation now. If President Weah asks him, Mr. Cummings to be his running mate, is Cummings gonna succumb to that? That we don't know. I think what's happening here is the surrogates of ANC or the supporter of ANC thinking Cummings has the political capital. Cummings does not have. Cummings need a cushion. The cushion is either Unity Party or CDC.
Thank you so much, Keta. Thank you. Okay, Terry, what was the lesson like here? Are we going to see a new way of ANC? And I kind of just telling them because they have some people, whether they were doing it on their own or it was with the acquiescence of Mr. Cummings at the time, they were driving people away, forcing with people. And when people disagree with them, they kind of like they just went off the mark like a complete blockade. They were promoting themselves, then even the candidate. And that happened with most of the people. But yet they say they are for this candidate. But when they on their program, 1 hour, 30 minutes for the candidate and 1 hour for themselves with their own achievement. And they didn't they didn't do anything because maybe their public relations or people they don't want to say something, then they will end up driving away. But they were causing more harm than good. But what we're seeing here tonight, if it is perfected into action to see the kind of new leadership, how they're going to conduct themselves, will come and be available. We did not put him in the bags and all of that. Do you think there's some little shift here, Terry?
Yeah, I think I've seen a different kind of comments from the approach tonight with his people. I think I like the approach, to be honest. They were calm. They were willing to take the questions, the hard questions. They were not aggressive as the way they was before, prior to the elections. I see a different kind of posture. The only problem I'm contemplating is that whether if Mr. Cummings is running, because I'm concerned whether he's running to be the standard bearer for 2029 on the ticket, and if there is anybody else running against him in the ANC, because the ANC got a big base in the diaspora. The problem with Mr. Cummings prior to the elections, he has so many people from the diaspora who never had any clue about the political demographic of Liberia as it stands. They left Liberia for a very long time. They don't understand the political system, and they felt within themselves they could influence the atmosphere because Mr. Cummings had money. That is not how it works down there, and it did not. But my worry with my suggestion would be to them: do not take Mr. Cummings off the ticket. I don't know if Mr. Cummings is discouraged. I don't see the momentum in him from his posture, the way he was talking. It seems like he's not running, or it seems like somebody else is is a prospect, and they were too quiet tonight. So I'm not looking. I'm not seeing that vigor, that political charisma from them tonight. I'm not seeing that. So I'm worried about that. But if you remove Mr. Cummings from the ticket, it's not good for them, because Liberia, there will be no political leader today that just went to Liberia and won elections. So if you say because Mr. Cummings got 1% yesterday, so we're moving him from the race, then you're going to lose. You have to keep selling him. Ask President Weah, ask Madam Sirleaf. Madam Sirleaf lost to Charles Taylor, and then she came back again. You see, then President Weah, he lost to Madam Sirleaf twice. So the longer you stay in the vanguard of the Liberian politics and keep engaging the people, the more your political capital grow. So I hope they will learn. I hope they will grow from that perspective, and they will engage on a different level. And I'm sorry, but I'm not a political pastor. So Keto, please take that name from behind me. Let Esther is beating you here or not. So you got to pay attention to that.
So that's the one. That's the one you're getting in trouble too, right? Okay. Let's, Koto, you say you are one of the founding member. Are you going back home now? You're returning home? You're going to Georgia?
No, I'm going there. You know, I listened to my sister Esther saying, "Oh, you left a Kumen for a black guy." You know, that was the question she asked. And not many people know what politics is. If you are going to put up a candidate, you are not going to push the candidate in the throat of the people. What you do is to give them right. Oh, I'm thinking, you know, normally as we politicians, we go to where we had the meat of the mind. I will come to you and say, what do you think about Ekume man? And what do you think about Bwaka? Then we discuss and have the meat of the mind. And if we generally, you know, accept that of, you know, commonality with Kume or with Bwaka, then of course I'm going on the Bwaka side. That was my decision. You go to the people, they know Liberian will just jump over night, like what they call it. Oh, I'm sorry, I beg you. Collins, like Collins said, there is no way you can go and just see somebody today. Oh, I get my candidate. As much as some of us who have been in the political arena for a while, to just go and push a candidate down their throat. No, they would not. They want to know who that person is. And with some who will be indecisive, okay, they will be like, okay, what do you think? So what side you think I should go? Then there where we kind of like say, okay, for me, I would prefer you know, coming this way. Other than that, it's not possible. So this is where we play our game. And secondly, I heard him, one of them saying, oh, that percentage that was left, we are going to play in that percentage. In politics, there is no percentage that is stable. No. You don't have a stable percentage to say, okay, then my percentage, then my 1%, still waiting for me, and I'm going to add another percentage to that. No, in politics, it doesn't work that way. So those are some of the things that they need to know. And then they think that maybe coming and saying some of these good words, going to run campaign in the heat or the last minute of time, it's a waste of resources. When I stole one of these, Mose at the time, when they were like denying me at the other station, I don't want to call their name here. I told them exactly what I explained to them, what Kume felt out. I said the resources that Kume has right now, he can collaborate with the Unity Party and he will not have to use even half of that money he has right now. He will use maybe 1/4 or not even much that he will use to run a campaign with Baka. Then the same Baka did not call him. The damages were already done.
So what you make of their presentation here tonight? Is that a new structure of ANC? Do you see a different version based on what we see? It's insufficient for us to come to our conclusion, but do you see something different?
Well, I a little change from the past one, but it's not enough to convince me. You know, as a politician, it's not enough because a lot of work needs to be done. It's just not coming, you know, on a radio station. Oh, Kume is coming by. Kume is this. Kume is that. That's a lot behind that. You need to go to the people. You need to get to Clancy. You know, I can get them free one like I suggested here. I can do that. I don't want any money for any political party. I have never asked any politician one day give me money. As much as we rank for Baka, I never one day told them I want to join either any of my children or family to recommend.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I can say I can't do nothing free, nothing free.
But since Koto, you're talking to that Thomas Fala call you. There's a call.
So okay, quickly here. We'll use our 1 more minute, gentlemen. What was the most takeaway here now? Moses, you say you want to run now quickly here before I go to the Madam. I want to go.
Sorry, I'm changing my location now, guys. Sorry.
They're talking.
You said what?
No, I say I want to run.
It was
Dr. Mali.
Oh, Mali. Oh, okay. So, okay, Dr. Mali, I know you asked some really push some line here. Is there any change in the presentation?
Yes.
Can we wrap this thing up here?
One more thing again.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Already out of time, guys. We are more delayed now. Dr. Mali,
Okay,
can you?
To be very frank with you, the ANC, I think the political maturity of ANC is above Liberia's scope. That's the first thing. The ANC is
overqualified.
It's a very sophisticated party. I think they have the right trajectory. They get the right thing, but the question now is it resonating with the voters that's supposed to put them in power? In between there, I think they need an effective public relations person to really help them. And besides that, what I see here tonight is a same old playbook pressing Kumi. And they are forgetting to even take into consideration the stigma issue. They have forgotten that. They also have forgotten that the voting population in Liberia got a mindset about the ANC. You see, it's not like some of the traditional party, like the CDC. They get some of their popularity. What his name? The Unity Party. His Excellency President Boakai. These are all homeboys politicians. This man is not a homeboy politician.
Very Republican.
So he really need to do more to really get himself resonated with the people. And I have a lot of suggestions for them. Because if they go the way I see them going before, because the last question I wanted to ask, the 1%, have they done their homework to find out why Kumi got that 1%? Are they concentrating on that? And if they don't find the answer to that puzzle, it's going to be a problem. And the next answer they need to find out, when Kumi ran the last time, he was a little bit up. This time, he went down. They need to go into their strategy room. What went wrong? And be sincere with themselves. And lastly, is Kumi prepared to change to get a traditional name attached to his name that will resonate with his people, with the people of Liberia? Is he prepared to replace? Is he prepared to replace a platform with lies and food and other things to give to the people? Because this is the politics we have in Liberia. See, is he prepared to go to Nuclear Town and sit down with the people and start blowing the fire like we can do, looking for vote and get a vote back?
So they showed tonight.
You know what? I need to talk to my man first. Esther need to spend some time with Oya because she will be a firebrand.
You see, CEO, these are the type of politics we have back home. Is he prepared to lie to the people? Is Kumi prepared to lie to the people who are supposed to vote for him?
You know, I can't agree with you.
And finally, going maybe places like Nuclear Town, Slipway, Vatan, Point 4, those places, is he prepared to go there with all coat suit and slipper and and is he prepared to do these things?
But I call something a real country guy, like. But anyway, let's leave it there. Moses, let's hear you.
And finally, Kumi, that word Kumi
4 times.
Like the word Kumi, it associates with so many things in Liberia. He has to change.
What you say about Ellen Johnson? What you say about Ellen Johnson?
No, let's see. You know why Helen won? Because Helen brought a native ball, a traditional ball. That Helen won. You think Helen went for Joseph Boakai for fun.
Dr.
You went for Joseph Boakai for the traditional
Okay,
work.
guys, thank you so much. Let's leave it there. Let's hear from Moses. Thank you.
I see you guys.
Where you going?
No, you gotta listen. You finish talking about Tabata, then you want.
Yeah, you gotta listen.
I gotta try my daughter, man.
You see?
Okay, go ahead, Moses. Go ahead, Moses.
CEO, there's a common strategy in Liberia. Come on.
God.
Okay.
What's your strategy like Tabata?
Go. Thank you so much, Dr. Mali. Let's hear you most quickly before we go.
Okay. I came on the show late, but from what I heard, and my question that I posted to them was strategically placed. It was a rhetorical question, and they never answer it. And I can tell you right now. You see, the people take Liberia to be like Fritambo. When we used to play Fritambo. Oh, okay, I'm next. You're playing with people, lives, and saying that, oh, because the person wanted that time, my time now. And we saw that happening in Liberia, and it continues to happen. When the people came, oh, the person now run 2-3 days time. Now, if I was affiliate, listen, I have family members, close family members, and serious friends that I went to school with that I remember are Cummings. And I tell them all the time, you don't have any political identity. You're running under the name of Alexander Cummings. If you disappear, you go, look at what happened to Doe, NDPL. When Doe went, that political party died. And so many other political parties. Ellen was not originally a member of Unity Party. But when she got in the arena, it was a little too late. They had already taken Waterson. So her next best thing was to go to Unity Party and say, I got the money, I can run the campaign, I can fund the whole campaign. That's how she got involved with it. And she won 2 terms because she afforded the bill. We don't have no political institutions. I hate to compare to the United States, but we have 3 political institutions in this country. The Democrats, the Republicans, and the Independents. Strong people. You either are independent, or you're Democrat, or you're Republican. And the Republican Party speaks on their philosophy of conservatism. So we don't have those political parties to continue to carry the same person because of their background and their funding of the political party or the campaign, not even the political party, of the campaign is totally unproductive to the Liberian people. You have to stand and create your own independence as a political party. And that's what we lacked in Liberia.
Okay.
That's strongly. See you, I beg you, man. Let me just have a few more minutes. I beg you, a few seconds. Because this is serious. And when we come on the show and we have these conversations, people that are listening, that question I asked them was not a question for them to answer, was something for them to think about. And whether we're talking about the opposition, I need somebody to tell me. And the reason why I say this is because not only did I learn politics in school, but I also practice it in the arena in this country for many, many years. Over 30 years, I participated, volunteered, sat with people, organized, listened to how politics is. So that's from the school of thought that I come in. Nowhere in the world, in fact, I was stand corrected, nowhere in the world I have seen political parties they call oppositions come together, form alliances to move on the sitting administration and kept their own unique party identity. Nowhere. You got to dissolve your whole political party, join with the other political party, and form a new one. Where the meeting of the minds, as Cotto was saying, came together and just came up with one philosophy to move forward. You cannot be independent with CDC and Unity Party and with Communist Party and the other party and say, oh, we'll keep our own uniqueness and fight against moving Boakai. Because everyone stands for their own individual platform and they would not compromise it.
So Mr. So,
and that's what happened.
Isn't it deception? Isn't the deception at its highest?
We're not going
Listen,
to.
it's
We're
not
not going to
deception.
relegate. We're
When
not
you
going
talk
to
about
relegate.
deception,
How Joseph Boyka became president?
no, you see, you're not listening, my brother.
Hello.
Opinion. So how can my opinion be a deception? Don't use deception word to it.
It's 10:42.
You can disagree with what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with my own opinion. But I'm telling you, go and research where they have multiple parties forming coalition to move other sitting administration, and the state kept their uniqueness.
All right, folks, guys, let's leave it there. Thank you so much.
So we're talking about it.
We'll continue to have this conversation.
You said you were going to call me. You didn't call me.
I'll call you.
I thought what your background is about. Your background. What is it about?
Man, boy, I left fishing. Don't worry. When you come to visit me, I'll carry you so you can go fish. I will push you in the water.
Some of us grew up.
So that the plane you get for the pastor? that
the pastor again.
They got
political pastor again.
The man said political pastor. What the political did that? But thank you, Mr. So, for the show.
All right, gentlemen. Like I said, when I know most of you have a side. Now, even there's no if and but. The declaration has been made public here, and so sometimes we'll bring this. We would like to have some sort of exclusive with them to give them the opportunity. Let's hear from them directly, and then we can hold them to what they say. Now, this video is in our hand, and I'm hoping I'm reaching out to them. Hopefully, maybe to have the big man himself here, and I hope that's what I want to do, because when they shield their people from the media, and they become to make choices for them, go this way, don't go this way. Right. It's a problem.
You really want to do that?
What?
You really want to do that?
To host him? To do what?
To invite the leader, yeah?
To invite him?
Yeah.
Yes.
You boycott me, you tell President Boycott, I want to have
You see, I supported Boycott, I didn't support Unity Party. So now that he's there, I can do that.
This is how you're
talking about, yeah? But where to? I also supported Tewan Gonglo.
So, you see, you're not supporting all the parties.
You support a bro, man.
What we are saying, nothing wrong with supporting people.
Exactly.
Hold on, I'm coming to you. Why not make it exactly you support Joseph Boyka, you not support Unity Party? So if anything policy-wise goes wrong, will you hold Joseph Boyka responsible, or you hold Unity Party responsible?
I do. Just like the UN thing that happened 2 days ago. The people around him made a blunder for him to be talking and the microphone go off. I did.
Because that what happened, yeah, because he was they were completely disconnected with what was going on.
These supporters of JMB will never hold JMB accountable. They will always push it to the people around him.
Listen, I always say it's the office of presidency that we need to hold the highest esteem for. Forget about the individual.
No, it's the individual. The torch bearer of that office is the guy that is in charge.
We understand that. That's what we
hold. Not the whole Unity Party. The person who drives the agenda of Unity Party, the person who drives the agenda of CDC was President Weah. If he fails, it means the party failed.
Yes, I know that. I know that. I'm aware of that.
So I keep blaming the individuals around him.
What do you mean by the party fail, Mr. So? You can say the party failed the country or what? Because the party is a body all by itself. So if the individual who is the standard bearer failed, doesn't mean the party failed.
The party failed because
who drives the agenda? Who is the chief administrator? Who drives the party agenda? Exactly. When you are a standard bearer, you see, this is why you are using your labor.
The standard bearer, the party.
You and the liberal here, this is the kind of fine line.
You are just saying that we don't have an institution in Liberia. We have individual. You were just saying it here.
Yes.
So does that? Yeah. So
if the individual run under the party fails.
Look at the
Democrats. Why he's saying literally here? Why he's trying to say here now?
Democratic Republicans.
Where go ahead, CEO.
When the standard bearer of the party fail, it doesn't mean that the party failed. The party lose an election.
let me ask you a rhetorical question.
Because of the failure of the standard bearer, but that doesn't mean that the party failed.
Terry,
what that way?
Let me ask you a question, and not just only to CDC or not just to Joseph Boyka. What is the contingency plan of the ruling party now in the event Joseph Boyka cannot continue for discussion purposes? Is there anything that United Party people can tell us now? This is the president. Everything will crumble. Yes, what?
United Party. You look, Mr. So, Jeremiah Kuhn have a huge political capital in Liberia that you cannot deny. Jeremiah Kuhn will become the standard bearer of Unity Party and take Unity Party to the polls if GMB cannot continue.
Let me qualify that.
People talking about
No, we gotta go.
Quick
Moses, we gotta wrap
this
up.
Is a quick I beg you.
Moses is conflicted.
Let's wrap up.
Moses is conflicted.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll be back here.
Jeremiah Kuhn political capital is equivalent to Georgia political capital.
You see where you going with that kind of stuff?
Guys, I gotta go.
Thank you, Mr. Su.
Oh God. All right, guys. I want to thank you so much for the conversation we got taken away here. But let me see here. I'm trying to play something here. Where is it? Okay, I got this file here from one of our not just prime time but strong supporters. I need to find time to talk to her to get a little more details here. The Hyena's Dream Escape, I believe, is a tribal agency, whether it is local and both international. I need to get a little bit details, and then we're going to do an audio version here. This is something that is operated and I believe managed by one of our own strong supporter here. I'm talking about Esther, Mrs. Frederick. So I will get the phone numbers, I will get some little details, and then we start to roll out the regular commercial here for them. People support you, you support me. Israeli, you scratch my back, I scratch my back. So this is if you are travelers, if you believe in experiencing to venture new reality, live, going places. You want to reach out to them. I will have to tell her to send me whether there's a number, how to relate. Different ways. We want to have multiple ways here. But basically, it's all about traveling. You can book. I believe this is the website. I believe there's a website. No, that's a Gmail address. So if there's a website, I would just have to have a conversation behind the scene to get some detailed information. Whether there's a website, where to link, whether there's a number to call, whether it's local here. If I want to fly to Philly, I want to fly to Atlanta, I want to fly to Minnesota. What I did, all of that here. Cruise, I can see it here, to crafting unforgettable travel experiences from some cruises to thrilling theme park gateways. We handled every detail. So there you go. Transportation, hotels, flights, excursions, and others inclusive, ready to turn your travel dreams into reality. Yes, that is Hyena's Dreams Escape. So you see here, so we're just going to get more detail of that, and we're going to be breaking that here every day. Let us support our own. Let us support our people, entrepreneurs. These are things people doing. If you can trust the other guy there with the color, you must be able to trust your own, and we know who we can trust. I will just have to get our Esther, if you can share, if there's a phone number, perhaps people want to talk to you. I will just need some little bit details, and then we can do like a voiceover. We can do like a voiceover here, and then that way it can roll out on a routine basis. We'll take our commercial. But I want to say congratulations. I hope you have something local too, not just only international. So we can going to different places. We can also use that as a patronage to show some support to your initiative, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Please, This is a new LPR number here. I want you to please take this. It's on WhatsApp as well. Esther, if you can send me that info, if you can send me a little detailed information, if you have phone numbers, any other thing, then I can just do like a quick voice over on it, and now we can have that play routinely. Or if it can be video, just be anything. It's 781-363-5939. It's available via WhatsApp. Or you can text me whatever information, we can share notes and before we start to air here. But in the meantime, if you are a traveler, this is what you want to do. All right. Georgie left traveling business, so I think George is going to be the first person to hit that. Well, folks, we want to thank you so much again. CMC, I reached out to CMC people. My understanding, most ability is en route, is coming almost way ahead before even Cummins people responded. So I reached out to CMC, CMC or CNC? CMC. I reached out to them. Up to this time, they have not responded. The organizer want to know the purpose of the convention, what ability is going to say, what are you going to be accessible to people, or they're going to be using their own media in terms of maybe having a conversation. We don't know. I will try to reach out to CDC as well. We hear George Weah, President Weah, former President Weah will be around in October. We reached out to Boyka. We saw the All Liberian Conference, their group are here. So we want to keep a fair balance because the more we hear from all of these people, we'll be able to make an informed decision. So that people should stop sharing them and just think. When you want to lead now, you got to get in the spotlight. People need to ask all of the upside down questions. Because at the end of the day, when the men climb up there, forget it. The way that die car windshield, only the tire you see running, you will not have no assets. So this is the best time we should have access to that. I want to thank you so much. We went extremely over the time here, but it was for a water course. So I think I want to say kudos to all of you for your time. Well, God's willing, we're going to be back here Friday. Tomorrow, get ready for Tabata. The Liberal and his terror are going to be on here. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.